But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know whether rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, almost the direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
I mean, won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0.
Doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It's Thursday night, and that's one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what that is. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. This show is live. We are streaming live on DLive, Facebook, and YouTube, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. If you want to be part of the show at any point tonight, give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. That is a Las Vegas area code. That is where we're streaming from. And also, we have a Discord running. So if you'd like to be part of the show and don't have, or let's say you're international, we have lots of folks listening all over the world, which is amazing, by the way. The internet's an amazing thing. And what we're doing tonight is, let me finish the thought. So if you don't like long distance and you're international, we have a free Discord, so you can be part of the show that way as well. Discord is a chat client, it's a voice client, and it is it's free. It's basically free. If you have a internet connection, you can be part of the show that way, and you can join the Discord. And if you don't know what that is, no problem. We got lots of smart folks that have joined the Discord already, and it's kind of like a private chat room. There's one for Troubled Minds. There's also one for the Fringe FM. You can go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website, and click the Discord link right there on top, and you can't miss it. If you want to join the Fringe one, please do that as well. I'm watching both because I've got eyes in the back of my head. I got digital eyes everywhere. You'll see. But if you want to join the Fringe FM Discord, fringe.fm/chat, that will give you a direct actual link to their Discord as well. So like I said, I'm watching all of it. There's these magic plugins that allow me to see all the things. So I'm doing my best to keep my eyes on all the chat. So we will read the chat as we go tonight, and the good stuff will get read on air. Otherwise, I'll do my best to try and respond and and try and keep up. But the best way, if you want to be on the show, the best way is to just dial the phone number. So I'm going to put it up on the stream one more time if you guys are watching on the streams there, and there we go. So what we're talking about tonight is, well, now if you've noticed, right, if you've been paying any kind of attention, you will know that there is a ton of information coming out of the mainstream media regarding this UFO stuff, right? Like, again, we've talked about this kind of ad nauseum at this point. But the problem is that we have the media is continually posturing to tell us what to believe regarding this UFO report. If everybody remembers, in December, as part of a budget program in the Trump administration, before he was ran out of Washington on a rail, he actually, his administration, I don't think it was him in particular, but he put in a mandate to have a UAP report. UAP is unidentified aerial phenomena. And so there's a 6-month report that's supposed to come out sometime near the end of June. Okay. And so there's been some actual, what would you say, speculation that it might be coming sooner. There's been some speculation that it might be coming late. All kinds of speculation, of course, right? Because we're talking about UFOs. So UFOs means that there is a ton of speculation regarding this, and not just by us. I mean, we're just the regular people out there. We just get together and talk about weird stuff, right? That's really what this is about. But the mainstream media has kind of jumped into the middle of this, and they're trying to posture it, trying to make us prep us on what we should expect or believe, and things like this. As always, you can't have a news cycle without the media kind of jumping in the middle of things and trying to tell us what to believe. So that's really what we're talking about tonight. And as we get going, there's some unbelievable things that you kind of want to smack yourself in the face when you see them. We got some marketing, some actual marketing's happening, as we've seen with the vaccinations, right? Everybody's being bribed by cheeseburgers and donuts and French fries and all kinds of stuff, lottery tickets, all kinds of crazy stuff to get that vaccination, right? Well, with that beautiful marketing already underway, there's a new wave of marketing that's just beginning. And I'm pretty confident in saying it's just beginning because if you remember when the Storm Area 51 thing happened, there was a ton of marketing that kind of jumped onto that to try and sell products. Was it Wiener Schnitzel? I think that drove like a I don't know. It was one of was it Arby's? I think it was Arby's, actually. It was Arby's. See, that I get them all mixed up, right? When you don't eat any of them, you get them all mixed up. But it was Arby's that actually drove out like a truck, like a taco truck, but it was like an Arby's type of food. And so they drove all the way out from, I think they were headquartered in Arkansas, and they drove all the way out to Area 51, right, for the whole Storm the Area 51 event, right? And of course, it got a bunch of press, and we talked about it, and we all had a good laugh. But it's starting again. It's starting. So with the UFO mania happening and all the press and all the media trying to tell us what to expect and what to think, now the marketing begins. And we'll get to that. We'll get to some of that tonight. So as always, like I said, we're talking about UFOs. And again, luckily this week we kind of dodged it. We haven't had a ton of UFO talk. We had some other interesting things to talk about because, of course, UFOs every day, like I said, also makes you want to smack yourself. But okay, so we are taking your phone calls tonight, streaming on Facebook, D Live, and YouTube, broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And if you want to be a part of the show, give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And I say that because we get a phone call. So let's go straight to this call, and we'll get going with the rest of this in just a sec. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man, this is Wes from Alaska.
What's happening, Wes? How are you, my friend?
Man, I was pretty good up until about 30 minutes ago.
What happened 30 minutes ago?
I've been really looking forward to this. Well, I saw the report that Daily Wire put out, and I know this is just kind of the start of where it's going. And I don't even necessarily like to read that stuff. I don't believe any of the crap that they put out. But, man, this is a hard one. This is a hard one to bite down on. I'm stunned that the Intelligence Committee has gone before our Congress and Senate and lied to them. I mean, it's not that unbelievable. They lie all the time, but this is an utter smack in the face. Calling it China or Russia, that it's a different country that's developed hypersonic technology is, I mean, this has been going on. There are cave paintings. There are reports before there was even typewriters, man. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. This is a complete lie, and I have been doing my very best to keep my faith in humanity, man, but just like you're saying, you know, they're pushing this vaccine and their marketing and everything is just, yeah, how much can you stuff in your face? And if there's, I mean, this has gotten me to the point now that, you know, I really wanted to do my project before, and I've been working towards it. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm mad. And so now I'm going to do it purely out of spite to make sure it gets done. That if they're going to lie to Congress, then we'll figure it out our damn selves. And, you know, I'll get the infrastructure together and figure out what I need to do to make my project get off the ground. But believe now that damn sure it's coming, because this is disgusting. I mean,
yeah. So
they just feed us.
Okay, so can you share the information that just came out in the Daily Wire? I've got some other articles here that are kind of talking about the same thing, so I thought it was worth kind of looking at this.
Can I read it to you here?
Yeah, not maybe just like the top paragraph. We can't read it too much of it, but yeah, maybe the headline in the top paragraph. Go right ahead.
All right, let me give you an excerpt here. They start this out. Basically, you know, they sensationalize it right off the bat. Very first thing. And without giving this away here, they're stating that these craft are all earthly in origin, and that it is China or Russia. They don't know the origin of the country that this is coming from. But they're stating that it's China or Russian technology, and that every single incident that hasn't been able to explain that they've been like, okay, yeah, this is a UFO, they're now pinning on the Chinese or the Russians or some country of unknown origin. So somewhere on this earth is a country that is capable of making technology that makes all the rest of the countries basically look like they're still in the friggin' steam era. So that's right out of the Daily Wire. And kind of to go back to get my point across here, if it was Russia or China, then they should be ruling the world, because this has been going on since, I mean, for as long as you can look back into human history, there is UFO reports and encounters and stories and myths and folklore. And I mean, it's been every age in every country for basically the entirety that human history has been written down. So if it's China and Russia, then cool, buddy, we're really into it.
We're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is.
I can't wait to see what else they have to say. You know, but I was just talking to a buddy of mine before I got on the phone here, and he goes, "Well, I got a theory for it." And I said, "Yeah, please do." And he goes, "Well, I mean, it could still be earthly, but maybe it's underwater people. You know, just kind of like playing the devil's advocate." Which, okay, let's say that, you know, for whatever reason, there is a civilization underneath the earth, underneath the ocean in the Marianas Trench, right? Well, yeah, it's an earthly origin, and yeah, but these are people living under friggin' water, you know? So all in all, I think we just got handed the table salt to season our bland meal of crap that they have fed to us. And man, I'm with you. I don't eat none of the crap. I don't listen to the crap. I don't read the crap. And I am thoroughly disgusted. I'm thoroughly disgusted. And if they're thinking this is a matter of national security, well, yeah, it is. And if that's what your answer to it is, it's terrifying that you people are running our country.
So what Wes here, our friend Wes here, is talking about is there's a lot that's going on with this UFO report, right? And like I said, the media is posturing now. So not just trying to give us news on what's coming, they're trying to tell us what to think and what to expect, right? Which again is not their job. Like, shut up, we'll make up our own mind. You don't have to tell us what to think or what to expect. We'll set our own expectations of your garbage journalism, okay? That's just a message to all the mainstream media from regular people. Got it? Now, the thing that's happening is they're saying exactly that they're setting us up to expect that this is going to be some sort of terrestrial thing from Russia or China or something else, hypersonic drones, what have you. And it's, again, right, I'm with Wes. I wasn't as amped up, disgusted, because I'm expecting this. Because, again, like, I've been one of the guys that's saying in the UFO community, hey, look, we need to temper our expectations because this information is still coming from the government. It's still going to be spun by the media, and it's still going to tell us absolutely nothing. And I always say this, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they actually tell us something, but they're not gonna, because of course, like this is exactly what's going down. They're trying to tell us now. We'll pull up and talk about this article in a little bit, but not just the Daily Wire, but the New York Times, all kinds of news is hitting today because there are people that have claimed to have seen this 6-month UFO report. All right. And so, or at least have insiders that are telling them what's going to be in it and things like this. And that's what's leaking out in the press right now. And basically, as you would expect, it's a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing. Again, spin.
Well,
So you're telling us that Roswell, right? The Roswell or Kecksburg or let's say Rendlesham Forest or anything you think is a credible UFO thing is now Russia or China all throughout history as well.
Texas.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's an unbelievable amount of credible UFO sightings. Go back to Project Blue Book. There's a ton of them, thousands, right? At least 1,000 of them, and then that's them throwing a bunch of them away that are not actually, not credible enough. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I mean, you're right. Like there's reason to be concerned here because, as usual, I think we're being had. I think they're selling us a bill of goods, and that's part of what's going on with this. But go ahead with your thoughts. Sorry about that. I had to go on a rant a little bit as well.
No, you're good, man. I want to point this out. This is pretty significant to me. So we've been getting cyber attacked by Russia, quote unquote, and we're being economically dominated by China, quote unquote. To me, it seems like somebody's prepping the battlefield here. When we, as the United States, when we enter a battlefield now or a conflict now, and we've been doing it since about the 60s and 70s, we learned that you can go in and send special forces in to train the local population to become an uprising, right? And so you train guerrilla warfare and you destabilize the area and the political powers there and insert your own, you make them fight amongst themselves and then you insert your own leader and basically get the area nice and destabilized just so you can roll in and pick up the pieces and clean everything up, and then bam, you got control of everything. So like I said before, when I called before, I was terrified that, okay, they're going to basically make this a war standard. It's something that you got to be scared of and that we need to all back each other up and fight about. We need to, this will bring us together as a country, and this is an extraterrestrial, it's a threat. It's a national security threat. And so now we're looking at this that, oh, no, if they're from Earth, we just don't know what country, but it's somebody else's country. Well, if it's another country that is using these things to watch our Navy and mock our Navy and our armed forces and with impunity just shut down our missile silos and knock our missiles out of the air and do all of this crazy stuff that has been happening for decades. They're ramping us up for this just to be one more thing to get the American people behind so we can go and fight a friggin' war. And that's exactly it. In my thought process is that's what they're doing. And for the Senate to sit there and eat this intelligence report, I mean, there better be senators and representatives out there that are just as pissed off as we are. Because if I was in that position and somebody came in front of me and said to me, we think it's the Russians or the Chinese, that's been happening for hundreds of years, I'd be furious. And somebody's job would be on the line. So, again, everybody out there who is listening, if you have a passion for this, go and do the research yourself. Get out into the field and actually do the research. You know, you can learn a lot behind a computer. That's all well and good, but get out there. I mean, we have got to turn this thing around because we're going to end up fighting another false war and killing and losing a lot of lives. It's sad, man. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Anyways,
agreed. Now,
thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Thank you. That's Wes from Alaska. Thanks for giving us your take here. This is exactly what we need to hear. Why we need to get together and talk about these things. Wes, you're the best. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Have a great night. All right, so look, guys. Now it's not only that, right? So Wes had a ton of good points, and he's correct. If you want to maybe push this forward, spend some time going out and being part of whatever's happening out there. There are tools available. These infrared cameras, things like this. We have Fred out there in the chat. What's up, Fred in Phoenix? He actually acquired an infrared camera, and he's been spending time looking at the skies, and he actually caught something. He caught a UFO that was not visible to the naked eye. He caught it on his FLIR camera. All right. Now, this is the thing. If you believe in it, just like Wes said, and you think that we need data, we need information, the tools are there, right? Like maybe cut out a hobby here or there and get yourself a FLIR camera and get your ass out there and maybe start checking things, recording things. And, like those are the types of things that need to happen. And I agree with him. And notice also that he had a good point regarding maybe the war drums are banging, right? Maybe they're trying to tell us, oh, by the way, the UFOs at this point are not aliens, right? They're something else. And they're not ours, but they might be Russia's or China's. All right. So if it's not a posture for war or something else, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what to tell you. It sure seems like notably, think about the Wuhan virus, right? You can't even call it that, or you're a racist, right? Think about this. The lab leak hypothesis, we talked about this last night because we can talk about these things again because the mainstream media has deemed it okay. But you see what's happening, right? The media is now putting maximum pressure on China, right? On Russia. Because, of course, they are the way the political wind blows and swings with the media coverage. I think I don't have to tell anybody anything. You were alive for the last 4 years. You know exactly what happened. And so as a result, now we're shifting the blame from current administrations, right? Current policy, current things that are really happening and putting pressure on external forces. And if that's not war drum banging, I don't know what is. And so this is exactly maybe just deflection, I guess. I don't know. But it is a little bit disturbing that suddenly we get these leaks of, in the New York Times. We'll talk about that as we continue going tonight. But people that have seen this report are in the know. They've heard information about what's going to be in it. And some of the information, of course, is not like you'd expect. Is not at all like you'd expect. And so, of course, well, here we are on Troubled Minds talking about it because that's what we do. That is absolutely what we do. So, as we continue to do this tonight, we're taking your phone calls. That was a great one from Wes to start us off. I appreciate that a lot. If anybody else has an idea about what's going on here, it doesn't have to be UFOs. It could be the larger picture. Maybe war, maybe deflection, maybe, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. That's what's on my mind tonight. It's, again, the media out front, deflecting what's happening. For what reason, I do not know. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. We're taking your phone calls tonight. If you want to be part of the show, the number to call is 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can also be part of the show using the Discord. Go to troubledminds.org, click the Discord link, and you'll get a direct invite to the Discord, and we can put you on the show that way as well. Now, back to the press, back to UFOs, back to marketing, back to what in the hell is going on here. And so let's go to exactly what was frustrating Wes. And not just him, probably all the rest of us as well. So up on the stream here from the New York Times, we have a report from today that goes a little something like this. Headline is, government finds no evidence that aerial sightings were alien spacecraft, right? Okay, fine. Like, and we're actually adding the Nimitz stuff into this, right? That whole Nimitz incident, the Tic Tacs, Fravor and Dietrich, the pilots, Graves, the other pilot from the Eastern Seaboard that said they saw UFOs every day for years, plural. I mean, now this is what we're doing, right? So if this is really the case, and there are no evidence that this is from somewhere else, sure, fine, right? Sure, fine. However, if this is Russia and China, what the heck does this mean? Like, what does it really? Are they literally just hanging out with our aircraft carriers? I mean, think about how ridiculous that sounds. We're like, oh yeah, well, these Russian and Chinese things, we don't know what they are, but they just hang out with our fleets in the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean. It makes no sense. It just makes no absolute. Anyway, let's go back to this article for a second. This is kind of what started this whole conversation tonight, and why Wes was frustrated, and why we all should be, in my opinion. Of course, well, we talk about propaganda quite a lot on this, and on this show, and this is the type of propaganda that it's weird to me, because the New York Times was, Leslie Kean, the article in 2017 that kind of started the ball rolling with To the Stars Academy and this whole bit, right? Like, there's a whole lot here. And the New York Times was part of this. Part of this disclosure movement, you could call it, right? Whatever you want to call it. I'm going to just call it that for lack of a better term. Now it seems like wartime propaganda, right? But anyway, I digress. So right here from the article, it says, the subheadline, the strange objects witnessed by Navy pilots remain unexplained. But officials briefed on a new study say they are not secret technology from a classified American program. Okay, so what that means is that they're not ours, right? So they say, so they can say, all right? So they can tell us. Because if they were, do you think they'd tell us? I mean, let's be real here. I think this is what I've been saying, is that if this was anywhere near our technology, there's no chance they'd ever let us know. Not till we're flying around in them in like the commercial flight to the moon. You know what I'm saying? There's no chance. There's just no chance. All right. Well, but anyway, I hate to burst the bubble of the people that are super stoked for this and hope that something's good going to come of this. But I've been skeptical. And again, not because I don't believe or I don't want to believe. Like I've been saying, I think this the information that's come out from this UFO situation, the Tic Tacs and all this stuff, right? The fighter pilots, no offense to them, they saw what they saw. There's no reason for me to believe that they're trying to fib to us. But if this is the case, with this, and we're now saying that it's Russia or China, there's a problem, no? I think there's a big problem. So here, let's just read just a little bit of this. This is from, this is today, June 3rd. American intelligence officials have found no evidence that aerial phenomena witnessed by Navy pilots in recent years are alien spacecraft. But they still cannot explain the unusual movements that have mystified scientists and the military, according to senior administration officials briefed on the findings of a highly anticipated government report. And now notice, the report's not out yet. But look at this. It's a leak. This is a leak. And notice, we've talked about leaks in the past, and there are sanctioned leaks and there are unsanctioned leaks, all right? Because, of course, if this is an actual leak about a classified report that's hit the New York Times, somebody committed a felony. Am I right? Except if they don't want to pursue it and prosecute it. But again, right, look at Lou Elizondo. Of course, recently he's come under some fire. Now it's come out that they deleted his emails and all kinds of other stuff. And he's taking it to the Inspector General to file a complaint that they're after him and they're trying to smear him in the media and all kinds of stuff, right? So I mean, the plot thickens for sure, but it's not about aliens at all, is it? It's not. It's barely about UFOs. It's about controlling information is what this is about. In any case, just one more paragraph and then we got a phone call. We'll go to this. So notice the sanction leak, because this is a sanction leak from people that are in the know of a report that's yet to come out. They also say this. The report, of course, which is not out yet, did I mention that? Determines that a vast majority of more than 120 incidents over the past 2 decades did not originate from any American military or other advanced U.S. government technology, the official said. That determination would appear to eliminate the possibility that Navy pilots who reported seeing unexplained aircraft might have encountered programs the government meant to keep secret. Okay, so they're saying, well, the leak says this. They're not ours. They're not ours. So, if they're not ours, whose are they? They've ruled out alien spacecraft, which, of course, that hasn't been the narrative for 3 years now, right? The 3 years has been, since that New York Times article and all the rest of this, has been basically framing the fact that it's probably aliens, right? Hasn't that been the narrative? And then suddenly, just before this report's going to come out, when we get these leaks that are maybe pointing toward Russia or China, I don't know what to say other than I kind of saw it coming. I've kind of been saying it. And I hate that, like I said, I don't want to be right about this. I hope we get good information out of this report. I'm not expecting it, though. But here's your preview. Here's your sanction leaks from the New York Times, from senior administration officials or whoever they happen to be, people inside the Pentagon, whoever the hell these people are that are blabbing and they shouldn't be. What's the saying? Loose lips sink ships, right? And here we go. More leaks every single day. More leaks. But okay, anyway, I digress. We'll get to the marketing and how this just seems strange. Weird. It's like, again, like we live in the upside down, and it gets worse and worse. But okay, let's go to this phone call and what in the world is going on. This is Paul from New Hampshire. What's up, my friend? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. How are you?
Hey, Mike, how are you? Yeah, wow. All I can say is wow. Yeah, I think it's just like, you said it. You've said it all along. I've said it all along. And we're not the only people that have been saying these things all along. And yet we're still wrapped into this group of people that are called conspiracy theorists and liars and have to deal with censorship now. It's ridiculous what's going on. It's scary. And is it ever going to end? I would think at this point, this is amazing what's going on. You said it was on the news tonight. I'm not going to give anybody any props for this, by the way, but here you go. It's almost like they're taking our words now and then using them for their benefit, but not giving us any credit for it. And then twisting it around into a rhetoric that they can get away with without saying the actual word extraterrestrial. When they know it, you said it. They're not ours. They're not Russia. They're not China. What does that leave? What are they? Are they Mexicans coming across the borders? Are they people going into the meat lines to try and buy food that came up with some crazy new technology? No, it's not. It's what it is. The writing is on the wall here. And it all stems from what you talk about, and that's propaganda. And I think they actually said this on the news tonight verbatim. It's about money. It's all going to come out of tax dollars from people like us that work our butts off our whole lives to try and get somewhere where we can have a comfortable life. And then when you start getting comfortable, they're going to take it all away from you and act like they did a favor to you by giving you unemployment and then take it away so you can go get a job and start working for peanuts again. I mean, when is this going to end, Mike? I don't think ever. I hate to get political about this, but I'm looking at the headlines today. You have this, you have that, you have the UFOs, you have the Fauci thing going on, you have the emails. Oh, now he's busted. Yeah, who didn't know that? And by the way, if you said this a year ago, you're a conspiracy theorist. But now all of a sudden, it's on major networks, and then you turn on another channel, and they're talking about insurrections on January 6th, and the heroes and the horrors that they had to go through because a couple of guys wearing Trump shirts went in there. And, I don't care what T-shirt you wear, Mike. I don't care. I'd love to have a T-shirt that says conspiracy theorist. Well, through, I'm going to stop my ideas here because I'm going to sell these things one day. And, hopefully nobody will steal what I've said or what you've said and puts it on the news tonight. But that's what's happening. And it doesn't look good for us right now. It just doesn't look good. We'll never find out the truth. We've been saying this all along. I've said it. Disclosure's not coming. We're not getting free energy. The aliens aren't going to come down and hold your hand and teach us how to get along with each other because we're not ready. And if we're willing to put up with the rhetoric and the stuff that they're shoving down our throats right now, it's just more proof in the pudding. How do we get beyond this? How do we reach out and hold hands and say, wait a minute, it's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up.
Thanks for hedging your words there. I sensed you were about to say something foul.
Yeah, well, I wanted to, Mike. I did, but I realized you're on the radio, brother, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. So now the thing is this, though, right? All of that said, what do we expect next? Like Night Stalker in the chat said, it looks like it's going to be the summer of UFOs, right? And wouldn't that be a funny thing if all summer long it was propaganda in the press regarding UFOs and somehow at the same time beating the war drums for Russia and or China, right? Remember, we have these huge hacks that happened, the meat industry thing. We got the pipeline that was hacked, and they're both saying they're Russia. Now we have these UFOs that they're saying, well, they aren't ours, and they aren't extraterrestrials, so they're probably Russia or China's, right? It's the implications here. It's just when you need to shift blame politically, these are the types of games that happen. And so, of course, we can't take anything they say as fact at all. And it's a shame. It's sick that this is the world we live in. But when I say, like it's been said, this is a post-truth world. And I truly believe it because they will not ever allow us to get close to it in any capacity. It's going to be dodge, duck, dive. What do they say in the dodgeball, the dodgeball movie? It's going to be something like that. They will never let us get close. And the second you get close, they're going to switch to the other foot and say, oh, by the way, it wasn't what we thought it was. This was something else. We still don't know what it is, but it's not ours, but it's not what you thought it was either, which was, of course, the narrative for 3 years was extraterrestrial. So, I don't know, man.
Well, and it's funny you say that, Mike. It's funny you say that, Mike, because this is what's happening. But the truth about it is that we've already discovered the truth. And I think you kind of nailed it with saying that. They're always going to switch your direction to take your attention away from the things that are actually happening. Use these as rhetorics. And even though they know what it is, and even though the government knows what it is, and even though all these countries know what it is, all these countries have come forward, by the way. This is not the first time this has happened. I've been doing this for 20 years. This is just a rediscovery of the same things that have happened over and over again. If you go back to Mexico City, if you go back to the Phoenix Lights, if you go back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, and you just Nellis Air Force Base. The list is endless of these things that have happened to prove the point that it's not our technology. And then they're going to say, well, maybe it's this or this. I haven't heard that lately. They don't know what it was. That happened on the news tonight. They were pretty adamant about the fact that this isn't somebody with better technology than ours. But, of course, they're going to use that to fearmonger. And this is mass media and the problem with it. And I think why, I'm blocked on Facebook right now for telling the truth. And that's all it is. If you come to this point, be careful what you say, Mike, because there are people watching us, and we're talking about the truth right now. And it doesn't matter how many viewers you have, you're a target when you get into the real aspect of these things. Unless you're, of course, Joe Rogan, and then it's all right to drop an F-bomb because he's on YouTube and whatnot in these places that allow that, and he makes tons of money for them. So, again, it goes right back. Here's the cycle to money. It all comes to money and tax dollars. And what are we going to do with this now? That's raise taxes to fund the military complex, to come up with these reasons to stop this threat that's happening of things that we don't know about, but actually I think we do, Mike. And so, when is it going to end? I don't know. I don't think it ever will. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I agree. And we'll keep an eye on it. It's the best we can do. We'll keep talking about it. We'll keep punching, fighting the good fight, and trying to get to the bottom of this. Paul, you were the best, my friend. Got to keep on moving here. Everybody follow a New Hampshire UFO Hunter on YouTube. And that's our friend Paul here. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later on, okay? You going to be around after the show?
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. I'll catch you then. Appreciate the call. Have a great night. Thanks for listening. All right. So that's what's going on tonight, guys. I mean, literally right here in the New York Times, we're getting now again, right? Think of all of the BS that they've put kind of in our face through all of this, right? Like all of this. It's been like, this, that, or the other thing. But it's aliens, right? I mean, literally, am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying that they've been kind of force feeding us that, well, the alien disclosure is here, right? Everybody keeps saying that it's here, it's arrived, right? But no. No. Now we have the New York Times coming out right here today. This is from today. I linked it in the chat. I'll link it again as we go, just so you guys can go read this with your own eyeballs and see I'm not making it up. As always, it's important to me that you guys see some of this. And not only that, when they do these ninja stealth edits on these articles too, it's good to talk about them right when they come out like we typically do, especially with the UFO stuff, because we get to talk about the context of the article itself without the stealth edit 3 days from now at the bottom of the paragraphs, right? At the very bottom of the article when they're like, oh, by the way, we didn't really mean all those things we said, right? And then nobody talks about it. It already did what they needed it to do, which of course is get out whatever they want us to believe. All right, so I don't know. Again, we're taking your phone calls tonight. We're talking about this, again, news, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, again, came out today. After 3 years of saying the UFOs are out there, right? Cue the X-Files music. They're here, right? Like you saw all those news reports just like I did. All the dumb stuff they've been force feeding us for 3+ years about the aliens are here. Now, well, the leak is that, no, we are not doing aliens now. It's not aliens, guys. Because, well, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. In any case, taking your phone calls. What do you think about this? And there's more. I'm going to get to the marketing in just a sec. If you want to be part of the show, it's still taking your phone calls tonight. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord at troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, and we'll put you on the show that way as well. So that's what's happening here. I mean, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're talking about. And is anybody out there can confirm that we are on the Fringe FM right now, or TalkStream Live, or Catalina in the Fringe FM Discord says we are not on Fringe right now. Can anybody confirm or deny? Just as a double check, pretty please. I would appreciate that. But okay, here we go. So not only that, here's another one. Now this is also from the New York Times, and oddly enough, everything seems to be a huge backtrack, and I wonder. It makes me wonder if they are trying to hedge our anger when the report comes out and it's a big nothing burger, right? It's like it's almost like they're like, okay, by the way, we think there's probably going to be this stuff. We still don't know what it is, but it's not UFOs, it's not aliens. It's possibly a terrestrial terrestrial origin. I don't know. Anyway, this is from the New York Times. Actually, let's not talk about this. Let's go back to this. Let's talk about this. This is from marketingdive.com. And yeah, that's right. You see this headline correctly. All right. We'll get back to that New York Times stuff as we go tonight. But it's important to note this. Just like with the Storm Area 51 stuff and the Arby's truck that drove cross country to serve its alien-themed menu to the Storm Area 51 folks, this right here is what's happening now. So Night Stalker there said it's going to be the summer of UFOs. Maybe. Or is it going to be the summer of UFO marketing? This is unbelievable. Oreo turns cookie packs into extraterrestrial peace offering ahead of congressional UFO report. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So now, let me read some of this. Oreo created limited edition cookie packs as a peace offering for potential extraterrestrial visitors, according to details shared with Marketing Dive. Quote, the offering product encourages consumers to place an Oreo at the center of the pack, marked by an electric blue elaborate glyph-like cookie design, and with a clear view of the sky. The social media heavy promotion is tied to the release of a government report commissioned by Congress addressing UFOs in U.S. airspace. The declassified findings are due to be submitted by June 29th, according to ABC News, and have attracted widespread public interest. Oreo published a series of social videos around the product drop while conducting Twitter polls to gauge the best snacks to share with any alien life forms. Yeah. You heard that. You heard that right. You heard that right. What is going on with this? Now this is what's going to be. It's going to be the summer of UFO marketing. I think that is for absolutely sure. What the rest of this is, I think it's going to get buried in a bunch of BS. That's my opinion. I've been saying it. I'm going to continue to say it, and I'll change my mind when they put a good faith effort out, just like I've always been saying. I'm willing to change my mind. I am open to being wrong. It's part of this, right? I'm not the guy that pounds his hand on the desk and says, go vote for this guy. I don't care. Like, you be you, you decide who you want to support, all that good stuff, right? I don't care. You do you. But what is this? What is this? Oreo cookies as an extraterrestrial peace offering. And this is a limited edition pack that you have to go to a particular place to get it, right? I'm not going to read the article and tell you where to get these things, because you'll already know, because they're going to flood the marketing over the next several months as this thing drags out over what we're now calling the summer of UFO marketing. I don't know. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I just, when you do things like this and you kind of put this in our face, it seems insulting, doesn't it? Matt says, aliens love cookies. That could very well be. I guess we're going to find out. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. If you want to be part of the show tonight, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Give us a call. Love to hear what you think about this. More UFOs and propaganda after the break. Don't go anywhere.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. There are other forces at work in this world, Frodo, besides the will of evil. Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you also were meant to have it. And that is an encouraging thought.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. This show, of course, is the show where we talk about the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are? Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and DLive. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. If you want to be part of the show tonight, you can give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we're talking about UFOs again tonight. It seems like we've been, it's a little weird, this show, right? We've been doing this for 3 full years now. Longer than that even. And we talked about UFOs from time to time, but it seems like UFOs over the past several years, oddly enough, since we started this show, have been ramping up to this fever pitch, right? To this fever pitch of what exactly? I think that's the question here, is if anybody follows the news in any capacity, you'll know that UFOs are all over the damn news. That's all they're talking about these days, right? And of course, there's new breaking information that just came out about this 6-month UFO report that's supposed to come out at the end of June. Well, they leaked it. They told us what's going to come. Again, the media is already posturing to temper the expectations in some capacity, and not only that, the marketing has begun. Yeah, that's right, the marketing. So just before we took a break there and got back to this lovely place where we talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about, we were discussing, yeah, that's right, Oreo turns cookie packs into extraterrestrial peace offering ahead of congressional UFO report. Boy, I tell you what, if ever was the time to eat some Oreos, I think now's the time, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is going to be the as the Night Stalker said, it's going to be the summer of UFOs, and I'm going to add a little footnote to that: the summer of UFO marketing. How about that? The summer of UFO marketing is really where we're going to get UFO marketing and propaganda, and it's a shame. It's a shame that there's so much information here that can be spoken about in actual specific terms of reality, let's say. I guess that's a good way to put it. I don't know. I never know till it comes out of my mouth. But you get the idea here. Like, what in the hell is going on with this? So suddenly, we get this leak today out of the New York Times. And again, right back to this article. I'm going to link this and you guys can check it out per usual. But look at this. Government finds no evidence that aerial sightings were alien spacecraft. Right? Now, mind you, this is from the New York Times, the same New York Times that's been really pressing the extraterrestrial news cycle since 2017 with Leslie Kean and that 2017 UFO article in the New York Times, etc. Right? Now, suddenly we have an about face where we have this UFO report that's due the end of June, and now instead of, well, guess what? The aliens are here. No, we have something else entirely. We have this. The subheadline from the New York Times article here reads, "The strange objects witnessed by Navy pilots remain unexplained." But officials briefed on a new study say they are not secret technology from a classified American program. Figure that out, right? Figure that out. All right. So they remain unexplained, but they're not ours. Okay. All right. And then it continues. American intelligence officials have found no evidence that aerial phenomena witnessed by Navy pilots in recent years are alien spacecraft, but they still cannot explain the unusual movements that have mystified scientists and the military, according to senior administration officials briefed on the findings of a highly anticipated government report. And once again, we're waiting on the actual report itself. What we expect to find there, again, is up to you. I've told you what I think, quite a lot, actually. I mean, I have a microphone here, and I talk a lot of hours per week about these things. So it's no secret what I believe regarding these things, these occurrences, these happenings. But what do you believe? And do you think now? This is just so frustrating. All of this is so frustrating. So again, we have leaks, remember? Now, according to senior administration officials briefed on the findings of this highly anticipated government report. So sanctioned leaks, all right, ahead of the release of this thing, they're actually trying to tell us what to expect and what to think. So what do we think? That's the question here. And what's up, Jack says, I'm in the chat. I'm sick of these crappy videos. They are just toying with us. And I kind of have to agree a little bit. Because this stuff is frustrating. I think frustrating is a good way to put it. And I don't know. You tell me. That's what's going on with this. Like I said, we're taking your phone calls if you want to be part of the show tonight. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. What do you think is coming up? Is this actual marketing? Is this propaganda? What is this? I think I know. It's probably a mix of all of that, if you ask me. But how do they expect us to believe any of the things they're saying when all they do is change their mind every, so often, right? 3 years of it's UFOs, it's UFOs, it's UFOs, right? I know you've seen this, just like I've seen it, if you pay attention to what they're telling us, but suddenly, no, nothing to see here. There's nothing going on, and we have no new information other than a leak in the know about the report and what's going to be released in it. Yeah. Is anybody frustrated with this? Is anybody tired of this game, this back and forth? Clearly, the government doesn't really know what they want to tell us because they just change their mind every other second. And, of course, when this report comes out, like I said, what do you expect from it? I think that's really the question here is, I don't know. Again, as always, this is a question show, not the answer show. I tell you what I think, but you believe what you want. Again, you vote for who you want. You take your own health in your own hands. In my opinion, we should be responsible for ourselves, right? So, in any case, I don't know. I don't know what to think now. So suddenly it's like, all right, well, now hit the brakes. It's aliens. It's aliens. It's aliens, and then no, not anymore. It's not aliens anymore. It's yet it remains unidentified. It remains unidentified. You see what I'm saying here? It's frustrating. It gets it kind of, for somebody like me that talks about this a lot. I talk about this stuff a lot. And again, because I think it's important. I think it's important to point out that the things that they're doing, how they manipulate the media, how they manipulate information, these leaks, these sanctioned leaks, as I like to call them, that are coming out of the senior administration officials, right? This type of thing, it does frustrate me quite a lot. So again, looking to hear from you guys. If what is your take on this now? We've got Oreo marketing cookies to the aliens. We've got the senior administration officials of the Biden administration saying, leaking information and saying, there's not really any good information in here, but we still don't know what they are, right? As expected, in my opinion, as expected. This is the whole thing. This is the game that's being played. And like I said, I don't like being lied to, and I don't like being played for a fool. And here we are, still thinking about this, still talking about this. I think maybe we should we at some point just go forget it and stop talking about this stuff, because it is, I don't know. I think I'm just frustrated. It's okay. You guys can forgive me, I'm sure. Let's go to Matt in California. Matt, you're on Trouble Minds with Mike. How are you, my friend?
Hey, it's going good, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good. What's on your mind tonight? What do you think about all this propaganda stuff?
I'm frustrated too. But I was talking about the marketing. So, all around the world, you have, we call them the cryptids or whatever, all around the world, all the different cryptids. So that, I'm pretty sure I've never been to, Loch Ness. They have Nessie. I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure they have, a side of the road, the track, a gift shop that sells, Nessie shirt, Nessie hat, Nessie shot glass, all the things, right? So all around the world is like that. You know, the Jersey Devil, that's in Jersey. All around the world, in Oregon, it's all Bigfoot. Bigfoot, everything. Bigfoot, you know, restaurant, Bigfoot. You know, anything you can get there. And then like for you in Las Vegas, the same thing. You know, at Area 51. So everything down there's like alien themed restaurants, alien themed, you know, side of the road attractions like gift shops, and there's that beef jerky place. Have you ever been to that?
Yeah, you were correct. If you're driving up to Area 51, there's the jerky shop. There's like a place called the Alien Outpost, Alien Observation.
The little alien. Yeah, the little alien.
Rachel, Nevada. Yeah, it's all. You're right. You're right. So regarding
the
marketing. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're up.
Oh, I was just saying, like, you know, someone has to make money. You know, that's what's funny about it. So again, it's, you know, just a big joke. People like us, you know, we just want the truth, and they're just making a big joke about it. And so with the stuff in the news now, I think now more than ever, if you never read the book 1984, you are time to reread that book, because there's a lot of good stuff in there about what we're talking about tonight, about how they like changed it on. You know, they said, you know, one thing, and then tomorrow they're going to say something different. I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's something the exact opposite. Not only that, again, remember, we talked about this last night, that suddenly there's a reverse course on the Wuhan lab leak theory. It's got a name now. Before you couldn't even say it, but
exactly.
It is bizarre how suddenly it was something that a year ago you weren't allowed to talk about because they would take you offline, basically. They would ban your YouTube channel. Is now suddenly sanctioned because the press themselves are like, oh, by the way, we think this might be legitimate now. Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us. Yeah, 1984, man.
Yeah, that book, I'm not saying that, you know, it's, you know, is it fiction, is it nonfiction, but it has, you know, and it's so old. That's what's funny. There's like, if you read it and you're like, there's so many similarities of how what's going on now, and it's just like, that book like kind of blows my mind how it's like, you know, it's happening. You know, I'm not necessarily like it's happening. I'm saying the way he wrote it was very like this kind of stuff is happening now. How they're like rewriting it, you know, the memory hole and all that stuff. Like how the news controls what we think is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly right. And so that's right in our wheelhouse here is and expect us to have this memory that goes back to just their last news cycle. I mean, they expect us to forget like they were literally off the rails for years at this point, like literally years. I mean, that Orange Man bad, again, no matter what you think of Donald Trump, they were out of control. They were reporting on the size of the man's penis, if you remember. They were reporting on his bathroom habits. They were calling him obese in the media. They were calling him deranged. I mean, like an unbelievable amount of just awful media. And again, right now they've kind of stood down. They're purring. They're happy.
Yeah, I'm not really into politics. I'm not really talking about politics very much. I've lost family members over that those kind of fights over what's in the news about what you were just talking about. So you won't hear me talk about politics. You hear me mostly listen. But yeah, that's the news. We guys, like I said, we gotta get together and think for ourselves. Don't let the news tell you what to think.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that, brother. I appreciate the call. That's Matt from California. Thank you for listening, my friend. Thank you for calling. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
All right, thanks, Mike. Bye.
Thank you. There you go. Simple as that. You guys want to be part of the show, give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can be on the show, talk to me, talk to whoever out there might be listening. And I always say, you never know who might be out there listening. You never know. Like I said in the podcast stats, we have people in China listening. Which surprises the hell out of me, but okay, all right, all good. So I don't know. Like this is really where we're at. This is kind of the summer of UFOs, like Night Stalker was saying there. But again, it turns into an about face from the media. Right? Think of it. Think of all the hype, right? The storm at Area 51. Think of all, which again was possibly a psyop of sorts, right? I mean, think that's like a foreign adversary's wet dream, right? To get a bunch of people to go storm a top secret facility and cause riots and who knows what, right? I mean, that's literally like, you don't think Putin was chuckling to himself there during that whole thing? But anyway, so there's that. which of course was very much like I said. They drove the Arby's truck out from somewhere in Georgia, I believe. Yeah, it's Georgia. Now it's all coming back to me. So the Arby's truck drove out from Georgia to Area 51 for the Storm Area 51 event, right? And they brought an alien-themed custom menu, right, to sell all kinds of weird stuff, weird food to these, tinfoil hatters that are going to be out there in the desert hanging out doing their thing, right? So now here we go with the entire thing where it flips. And instead of, well, by the way, our fighter pilots are seeing these things in our airspace. And it could be a threat, right? Remember the threat narrative, which kind of was being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Now suddenly, yep, that's right. We're marketing Oreo cookies. That's right. The peace offering to the extraterrestrials is now Oreo cookies. All right. And so as we saw with the Storm Area 51 event, I think we're going to see a ton of corporate, what would you call it? The corporations of America capitalizing on this situation for marketing purposes, because they want to sell you cookies and soft drinks, and they want to sell you hamburgers, and they want to sell you hot dogs. You see what's going on here? Am I wrong to be frustrated? It's just like, come on, people. Come on, man. I mean, yeah. I don't know. So, okay. So back to this other New York Times article. All right. And again, so the first New York Times article that we talked about was them with a leak, right? They have a leak and from the senior administration officials. And as a result, they're telling us what's coming. They're telling us what's on the way. And it's what is on the way. It's not UFOs. That's what they're telling us, right? It's just not UFOs. But not only are they telling us it's not UFOs, check this out. They're also telling us what to think. This is from the New York Times today again also. Actually, this is from yesterday, I believe. June 3rd. No, today. So the headline is this. Why are we all talking about UFOs right now? So not only do we have the other article where we have the sanctioned leaks from the senior administration officials that are leaking information about what's supposed to be in the 6-month UFO report that's due out at the end of June, by the way. Then we have the mainstream media here, the New York Times. Also, why are we all talking about UFOs right now? Why? It continues. UFOs were once a taboo topic for the U.S. government, but not anymore. A long-anticipated report on them is due this month. Yeah, definitely. These days, fewer people are laughing. This article continues. Unidentified flying objects have been taken more seriously by U.S. officials in recent years, starting in 2007, with a small, secretly funded program that investigated reports of military encounters. The program, whose existence, again, was first reported by the New York Times in December of 2017, which, again, started this entire ball rolling. This disclosure movement, right? December 2017 was revived by the Defense Department last summer as the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, right? Previously, of course, it was ATIP and all the rest of this stuff. And now they've created this task force, which on a previous show, we've equated to Mulder and Scully. The X-Files, a person or two with undoubtedly with in some tiny cramped government office with file cabinets. Right? Investigating the X-Files. I mean, come on. Like if you're going to take these things seriously from the government, don't you think you should fund it, maybe? I mean, we're talking a person or two. We'll say 2 people to be generous in the UAP task force, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. Yeah. And that's what we're looking at tonight. It seems ridiculous to me that I don't know that it is, it isn't, it is, it isn't, it is, it isn't, right? So what is it? Once again, what do you think all this stuff is, guys? I ask this question all the time, but now, so not only what do you think these weird lights in the sky are? Like I've always said, I've classified them as the leaks from the government are probably one thing, right? Think about it. They've been perfectly curated. Three of these videos that are very similar. Right? They're very similar in what these things are, the Tic Tacs and the FLIR videos, and right, the gun camera footage and the whole deal, right? Very, very similar. But think about it, like I've said in the past, Project Blue Book had saucer-shaped craft, it had cigar-shaped craft, it had spheres and blobs and all kinds of things. All kinds of things. And so, for whatever reason, the 3 videos that are released by the government are exactly the same 3 things. Weird, right? Weird. Like I said, perfectly curated for what? It seems like to possibly manipulate popular opinion. That's what it seems like to me. Like I said, I hate to be that guy. I just can't stand seeing this stuff in the media coming out. And now we're supposed to order these Oreo cookies so we can bring in the extraterrestrial presence with some crappy Oreo cookies. Are you kidding me? And of course, I don't know. Like I said, frustrated. I hope maybe I'm not the only one here. It is disheartening that something that could be serious, that could be a very serious thing, is not being taken seriously at all. Even though they're giving it the lip service, they're saying the report's coming, they're saying all kinds of stuff. But now suddenly the leak prior to the report says, no, well, these things remain unidentified. However, we're kind of ruling out aliens. So what are they? What the heck are they? You tell me. I don't know. Jack from the chat says, I guess UFOs are the new boogeyman terrorists. Could be. Could very well be. Fred says this, what I find strange is at work, many of my coworkers just don't seem to care about any of this, unless it affects them directly, which is strange as well, right? That some people don't even give a damn. They're just like, whatever. Another UFO story in the media. That's Fred, by the way, that actually bought a FLIR camera and has been out searching the skies and sent us compelling footage of a real UFO. Not the stuff that was featured in the New York Times. I'm just saying. If you guys, like Wes said when he first called, when the show started tonight, if you're into this, that's the way science is done. You go out and you observe and you take notes. You take what data you can, photographs, video, whatever it happens to be. I don't know. Like I said, these are the types of things where, just like Wes said, I think we have to band together. I think we have to actually back each other up with the data we have and forget the government regarding disclosure. Seems to make sense to me. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. We're still taking your phone calls if you want to be part of the show tonight. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Give us a call. Love to know what you think about this Oreo cookie alien marketing and the leak of the report. Yeah, I'm frustrated. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. More UFOs, more Troubled Minds right after the break.
The truth is out there, and so are we. KTLK, Digital Broadcasting, The Fringe FM.
Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We are taking your phone calls at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. We are talking about UFOs tonight. More information has leaked, right? Leaked. Not FOIA requests, not official statements. Information has been leaked about the UFO report that's supposed to come out at the end of June. Well, guess what? They're prepping us for, you guessed it, a big old nothing burger. But they're trying to sell us a different bill of goods. Like, Oreos. Let's see who else jumps on the alien bandwagon and the marketing bandwagon. And the rest of this stuff is, I just don't know. It's going to be hamburgers. It's going to be Coca-Cola, like you name it, right? Like you name all of the major players in the advertising game that's going to just throw it out there, right? You know, when when a major movie comes out, a major Hollywood movie, right? All of the fast food joints, they get like the little plastic toys from the movie, like, oh, come get the new Avengers thing when you buy the couple of crappy cheeseburgers, right? Like this type of thing is what's going on out there, and it's being utilized as a marketing stunt. This is a big marketing stunt, and again, I don't know if that was from the very beginning the angle here, or again, if these wonderful companies are just latching on, taking advantage of the alien madness that is consuming the media these days. I don't know. Again, like I said, I've speculated that it's sort of a way for the media to stand down and not go after the current problems, because there's lots of current problems, right? We talked about that last night, about a lot of this stuff going on. The meat shortage from the hacking, the oil, the pipeline shut down, no gas out in the East Coast, $6 gas prices in Los Angeles, of all places. Like why? The pipe didn't go that way; it went that way. So why do we have $6 gas prices in Los Angeles? It may, again, a lot of bad press that definitely could be covered up, right? Could be, and we know very much. We've talked about this in the past, how they have government agencies that do nothing but manipulate news cycles. All right, they do. It's their entire job. It's called an information operation. It's what it's called. And so this is what I'm saying, right? And again, not to remove the aliens or any of that. Like I said, I want to believe, all right, but I do not want to believe that the government is going to give us anything. I'm pretty sure that's not the case here. It's not the case. But there you go. There you go. MJ says, what's up, MJ? Thanks for being here. Burgers made of meat of the Greys, right? Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know what to think about this stuff, other than I'm frustrated. So we've got some statements, actually, not direct statements, but people in the media, like we've discussed in the past. Barack Obama made a statement, right? That we had the White House, Jen Psaki, the nice redhead that gets the softball questions and knows what questions are coming in advance. Yeah, that one. She has actually had a prepared statement, right? You guys remember this? Actually, I think I have the clip. I just left him in here because I think these things are going to just come back around. Now, remember, this was just a few days ago. Last week, we had this on the show as this was the official statement from the White House 1 week ago. So with new information coming out, let's maybe reframe it. It's good to keep these clips because guess what? If you keep them and they change it or they edit it or they redact it or it disappears from the internet, I've still got it.
I also wanted to ask you about a phenomenon known as...
the giggle gives away, I don't know what this question is. Let's see.
So I've already ruined it here. But this is quite a serious issue. There are these unrecognized objects in U.S. airspace that are also known as unidentified aerial phenomenon, I understand. And I wanted to see, there's a DNI report that I understand is going to be released soon. Can the Biden administration commit to releasing it in full?
Well, that would be for a decision by the Department of National Intelligence to make. As you noted, we're aware of the report requirement, and our team at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is, of course, actively working on that report. And we take reports of incursions into our airspace by any aircraft, identified or unidentified, very seriously and investigate each one. But ODNI would be working on that report, and in terms of disclosure, that would be up to them.
I guess in all seriousness, though, can you characterize the president's concerns about this phenomenon? I mean, it is this concept of objects in U.S. airspace that are either origin from other nations or other entities, but what is the concern of the president that this phenomenon seems to occur in the national security apparatus?
Well, I think broadly speaking, the fact that we have a team that's actively working on a report, certainly the safety of our personnel, security of our operations, our airspace are of paramount concern, whether that is identified or unidentified aircraft. And we don't discuss that publicly for a range of reasons, but certainly the president supports the ODNI putting together a report and following through on that commitment.
Okay, again, a very prepared statement. The reporter starts giggling, and then Jen Psaki, the nice redhead there that knew the question was coming, said, "Oh, I know what you're about to ask." The laughing gives it all away. Well, let me read this prepared statement, knowing exactly what question was coming. Yeah. You know what that's called, guys? Propaganda. That's what that's called. That's not a direct, like, official statement. That's a softball question and a propagandized statement to control the information. Yeah. I don't know. You tell me. Let's go to this call. I think this is Derek in Massachusetts. Am I right? Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, it's Derek. Nice talking. What's going on, bro?
Good, man. I'm doing good. Doing my thing, talking UFOs. What do you think about this stuff?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I think that we're gonna get a big nothing burger from it. But also, I think there's a possibility that they could be using it as kind of like this free energy, Green New Deal type rollout thing. I definitely agree with the first caller that there's obviously like a national defense element to it. That there's been a lot of like war stuff, and there's definitely going to be I think basically it's going to start with that these kind of like the dogs of war are going to start barking with these UFOs from Russia and China, and then I'm just picturing in my head like some kind of like press conference, and they roll Biden out on this like aircraft carrier wearing these aviators he keeps rocking like Top Gun style, and being like, all right, yeah, here we go. We now know that China and Russia have these advanced craft, but I just want to reassure everybody that we too remain the top of military totem pole or whatever, and here's what we have. And he unveils like this red, white, and blue UFO or something like that. You know what I mean? And then they use this. You know what I'm saying? So Stars and Stripes UFO, and then they use this as like a free energy thing, like as a way to unveil, kind of bring in the next century of energy. Like he's also kind of positioned himself as trying to be this whole green president now. He just rode that electric car from electric truck or whatever from Ford or whatever it was the other day, last week or 2 weeks ago. And now we have a gas shortage, so more reason to try to get rid of gas. And over the last few years, like the Rockefellers and these big elites who are heavily into gas and oil have been like slowly moving into the electric car industry and like these alternative energies. So if the big argument's been they're hiding UFOs because it'll hurt the gas industry, well, the gas people are getting into this new energy too. So they can just control it now, and this is a way that they can unveil this new energy. It can go hand in hand with war, but also hand in hand with this climate change stuff that they're putting on us too.
Nice. So they can save us with the 0 point energy, with the Tesla energy that was suppressed in the 50s. Exactly. Which sounds amazing, doesn't it? Not 50s, but longer than that. So okay. I don't know, man. Like I'd love to think something like that is on the horizon. It's just it seems so not 2020, right? Not 2021 to me. You know, like everything has kind of been just like more bad news after the next bad news. I mean, that would be amazing if we could roll out some kind of like brand new exotic energy, whatever propulsion or whatever system it is. I mean, that would change the world in a good way, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. Like it's not. I wouldn't put my money on it. Like I'm expecting just a big nothing, there's strange stuff in the sky, we don't know what it is, and that pretty much just be that from a few official people, and basically just confirmation that there are technical UFOs out there, but like, that's basically it. But just, I don't know, there's other things going on in the zeitgeist with like the war stuff and the free energy stuff that kind of makes me think maybe it could kind of tie in. But also, we talked last week about the whole technology aspect, and like, obviously, getting this Tesla tech and getting like moving away from fossil fuels is great, but is it part of this like big Faustian bargain we've been making with wherever this technology is from secretly? You know what I mean? And we're really enrolling the next era. Maybe it requires Tesla tech, free energy, to create enough power in order to collapse reality and bring in these old ones. You know what I mean? Maybe we're just like setting up our own extinction. You know, like. And it looks great to us. I'm sure when they started using gas, it seemed like it was unlimited too, you know? But, I don't know. I just get nervous at any of these narratives that get shoved down our throats, you know? But
yeah, well, and clearly none of this is true, right? I mean, Like they can't even give us anything substantial other than take one step forward and one step back, and then one step forward and one step back, and we're like, oh, got it, okay. So we don't know what they are, but they're not aliens now. But they were aliens, but now they're not aliens. But then we're going to wait for the report and see what the report says. It seems ridiculous.
Yeah. I think it's like multifaceted, multi-layered, multi-tiered. Like there is definitely the national security aspect. Like I don't know, like the next. Did you watch the Netflix Space Force show they made a couple of years ago? The comedy with Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. I did not.
It was okay. It was not great. I didn't even finish it. I'm a big Office fan, so I watched it like for the Office aspect. But it was below average. But like the second episode, they do this joke thing where they launch like a monkey into space with a satellite, and then like this whole big thing about trying to get the monkey to fix something on the ship or whatever. But then, spoiler alert, the episode ends by this like way more advanced Chinese satellite coming over and just destroying the American satellite, and it ends up with just a joke basically. But if something like that happened in the real world, that's what would bring a World War III in, and then we have this whole like I don't know. I just don't foresee a war where we're fighting troops versus troops anymore, and like this could be a way to kind of bring in this new era of warfare, while also bringing in like these new elements of like. I don't know, this new level of technology we have. But also, definitely, I'm expecting a big nothing. I don't know. They're just hitting us with so much, like, stimulus. It's just, like, whether it's this thing or some bad news or some, like, bizarreness, whether it's, like a murder hornets or whatever weekly thing we've been getting over the last 15 months or whatever. It just seems that they're just, like, I don't know. But also, there's the possibility that they really are going to do some kind of, like, false flag UFO event, too. Like, that's definitely, like... A lot of the synchromystics on the internet have been putting those pieces together too, and being like, something smells like this is just prepping us to have some kind of new high tech Pearl Harbor type event,
Yeah, weird, and so not.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good. No, like if not something even weirder. Like if you remember that the New Year's Eve thing, the Seattle Space Needle thing, where they had that whole like AR like light show thing they had or whatever, that with those big like futuristic looking Technicolor squid or whatever. Do you remember that big presentation they did?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that people are like, is this all adding up to something like that, where okay, we have advanced tech, okay, there's something flying around out there, and then something strange happens in the sky? Is that why they changed UFO from flying objects to aerial phenomena? Because it will include something bizarre in the sky that's more than just a flying craft. Like, is this flying craft, is this subtle flying craft, like, is almost boring to us, just to kind of like butter the griddle before they really crack the egg over our head? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that, and I've actually been speculating that recently myself. Like I said, this past weekend we had a Patreon only show. Support the show, Patreon guys, by the way. But you get a couple extra free shows, not free, extra shows, extra content per month. But anyway, so we were talking about that, and there's a ton of things that now. Yeah, thank you. That you can actually point in the sky as like these. Like, it's not just lights and lasers anymore. It's like plasma. Like, these things can look real. So, I mean, the technology is out there for all kinds of crazy stuff to go down. It's just, it depends on, right, like what kind of madness they want to cause, because they can do these things now. And if those are the UFOs,
a year and a half ago,
maybe they're prepping us. Yeah, go ahead.
Like a year and a half ago, obviously this seems like this is really outlandish, and we've been like waiting for this for a really long time. But you can say the same thing about a worldwide pandemic, like a year and a half ago. If you had said, like, yeah, they're actually going to do this, we're going to get this pandemic that they lock down everything and they force us to do all this stuff, we would have said, yeah, we believe in that. Yeah, that's something that they would do, but they're never going to actually do it. But they did it to us, And now, like, is this the next thing? Like, yeah, like we believe in these things. Like, we believe that they have these crazy craft. We believe that they can do something strange in the sky, but they won't actually do it to us, right? Like, I don't know. It seems like there's also like so many UFO Corona synchronicities. Like, Roswell happened in Corona, just for starters. That like it almost seems like the natural next big zeitgeist event to bring us out of this thing. Memorial Day weekend was basically a giant ritual. Like, my radio had like mask off weekend. Like this was the big ritual to end whatever this last thing was. And now this next thing we've been getting into for June, leading us into the next 19 months or whatever, could be even weirder, you know? But also, I don't think it's going to happen. If I was a betting man, I would say a whole lot of nothing, you know?
More nothing burger. Except, imagine this. Now, the marketing just writes itself, man. This is too easy. If we're marketing Oreo cookies based on UFOs, how about, hey, guys, we need to do this. I joked about crowdfunding a senator last night. Let's really quickly crowdfund a company that sells a nothing burger. With a UFO on the package.
That'd be good. That'd be good. You should. I'll let you go, though, brother. Great show tonight.
I appreciate it, my man. That's Derek from Massachusetts, the Night Stalker. Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for listening. Always great stuff from you. I think that's the thing, right? As there you go. Maybe the fast food joints that will be like, oh, by the way, we're going to start selling nothing burgers. And they might sell a ton of them, but I don't know. And I think this is where we're at. It's unfortunate that this information comes out the way it comes out, right? We've been talking about this for years on this show, literally years, all right? Again, we haven't been doing this like Linda Moulton Howe for 30 years, nothing like that, but still. Years nonetheless. We've been talking about disclosure, what UFOs might be, even like the alien presence, speculating all kinds of things, right? We've been all over the place, all up and down, dealing with propaganda constantly. And so at some point, like I said, I don't know. Like at some point, like I know some people that do this type of stuff, you know, and they're like, they got these talk shows and they're like, well, you know, I'm just sick of talking about UFOs because it's always nothing. It's always the same, you know, dozen people, 15, 20 people, like talking about the same 15 or 20 things. And so now here we are on tenterhooks waiting for that moment, the moment of government disclosure. Yeah, right? Is everybody excited? Did everybody order your pack of alien UFO Oreo cookies? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm going to put that back up on the stream here because it's real. I'm not even kidding. It actually exists, if you can believe this. And I just don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if this turns into literally Burger King selling like, or, you know, adding little UFOs to their Happy Meals, good game, guys. Good game. like it's a wrap. It's what's the point anymore? It's like, oh, okay, I see. It's another news cycle to manipulate to sell people some actual nothing burgers. Like actual. Yeah. And this is where we're at. Anyway, we got time for you. We got a few minutes left on the show if you want to be part of this. What do you think this is all about? This whole disclosure bit, this information that's leaking out of the New York Times, literally from senior administration officials, they say that, well, we should temper our expectations now on the actual UAP report that's supposed to be coming out at the end of June, right? We don't know what these things are. They remain unidentified, and as a result, we know they're not ours. We can probably rule out extraterrestrials. So what does that leave? What's that leave? Does that leave? I don't know. What does it leave? Russia? China? What does it leave? Right? It's so interesting when you follow news cycles to see how the blame shifts and how they like to decide, right? This guy is responsible for all these things, but then that guy is not. Look at all these UFOs, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Again, it irritates me, all of this. I just, it's what I do. We talk about this. I like thinking about it. I am just exhausted with the propaganda because it's like I said, like I was talking to Derek there. Again, great call, Derek. It is one step forward, one step backward, and we're just doing the UFO do-si-do, or are we not? It seems like that's the case. So I don't know. Anyway, looking to hear from you. 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. Troubledminds.org is the official website. And so there's more. Let's see. Couple statements here. Christopher Mellon on Twitter says this. This is a clear reversal of the conclusions reached by Project Blue Book in 1970. This time, there's no sweeping it under the carpet, right? This time there's no sweeping it under the carpet, right? There you go, right there on Twitter. Christopher Mellon, right? One of the guys that actually worked in a very high capacity with the Defense Department. And here we go. This is what he's saying. These are the things that he's saying. It's reversing, right? Is it though? Is it really? I mean, it seems like there's a group of people that want something to be the case. They want this to be the case. But if it's not, well, then what, right? Here we go. There's more. Harry Reid. This is from the Review Journal. This is from Las Vegas, right? Harry Reid's from Las Vegas. And check this out. He says this in the headline, Harry Reid on UFO investigation. Quote, I'm glad I blew the horn. I think he probably could have worded that better. But I'm just saying, right? Like, he's taking credit for this. All right, fine, sure. You know, Bigelow and the whole thing and the aerospace and the metamaterials and a warehouse in Las Vegas. Again, did that even turn out to be true? Because if that was true, that would be your smoking gun, right? That would be your UFO smoking gun. But that kind of just came and went from the news cycle, right? It just disappeared. It used to be, wow, there was a whole warehouse full of metamaterial, right? In Las Vegas, Bigelow Aerospace, holy smokes! And then it just disappeared from the news cycle. You understand what's going on here, guys? I think we're being had. There's more statements. Here you go. So not only did Obama make the statement, which we played on the show in the past, when he first made this statement, there's more. He says this. This is from globalnews.ca. If UFOs are aliens, Obama hopes humanity would find common ground, right? Would find common ground. And is this not a page out of the Reagan playbook? Right? A page out of the the original Independence Day? Anyway, I digress. You guys can tell I'm frustrated, and I'll tell you what, I am unbelievably frustrated with this. But thank goodness we got dumping day tomorrow, and we'll see what information they're going to dump and try and get by us, because that's what I do. We're going to pay attention to this. We're not going to let them get this by us. We are going to demand answers and not take a nothing burger, and that's the way this goes. So as we finish this up, you guys know the drill. Fringe FM is back. We are back. Joe Roop, Lighting the Void, is up next, and of course after that, the Secret Teachings with Ryan Gable. So stay tuned for that if you're listening on the Fringe FM. If not, and you're hanging out with us on DLive, YouTube, and Facebook, hang tight for a third hour of Troubled Minds. We're going to keep talking about this. We're still taking your calls. And at the end of this, at the end of the Fringe show, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I know sometimes it's difficult to get through because it's frustrating. This information is frustrating. Thank you for all the great calls tonight. Thanks for all the great chat. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this. Be sure, be strong, be true. And thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right, you guys know the drill. So we're going to have a third hour of Troubled Minds here. We're still doing our thing. We're still thinking about this disclosure stuff, looking at the propaganda, taking your phone calls. And I have to say this. Lazy Guy X on YouTube says, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not stand without a fight. We're going to live on. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. I'm just kidding. We'll be right back. 2-minute break. 2-minute break. More Troubled Minds. The third hour coming up. And thanks for the comment there, Lazy Guy X. That was amazing. And let's go. Let's continue. We're not done yet. One more hour of Troubled Minds. Don't go anywhere. Going to take a quick 2-minute break. Tuck the kids in. Grab yourself a drink. Hit the restroom. Grab some popcorn. Do what you got to do. Stretch your legs. Get your ass back in here. We're still taking your phone calls. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And more UFO talk in just a minute. Let's swap the music and do the 2-minute thing, and we'll be right back. This is Michael Strange from Troubled Minds. Did you hear that scientists recently discovered radio waves coming from Proxima Centauri? Well, I cannot confirm nor deny. We are broadcasting from that neck of the woods. You are listening to KTLK, The Fringe FM. Drop some F-bombs. I usually drop the first obligatory F-bomb because why the hell not? And I don't know. I don't know what to do here. UFO propaganda, right? It's our thing. It's what we do. It's what we talk about. But is it just me? Is it becoming more and more frustrating, or am I just burned out on UFOs? Because it's been UFOs almost every damn day, and the news cycle just continues to toy with us, right? It continues to give us this and then take that away, give us another thing, take the other thing away. You know what I'm saying? It just becomes difficult. It becomes difficult. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what to think. Like I said, love to hear from you guys tonight. 702-957-1037. And what do you think about this? What are we doing? Let's go to Jay. We got Jay in the caller queue. Jay, if you're there, what's up, buddy? You're on Trouble Minds. Mike, how are you, my friend?
I'm fantastic, Mike. Wow, you're doing a hell of a job, Mike. You really are.
Thank you.
You know, I noticed it a couple of days ago when the news show kind of getting the panties scrunched up there in a bunch, you know. It just, don't get discouraged. You're bringing people to the table and you're letting us talk about these things. And, you know, the other shows are cool too that aren't talking about aliens, when you're talking about, you know, Bigfoot or, you know, whatever. You know, it's an intelligent conversation with a lot of people, you know, and that's what's important. That's going on. It does kind of suck that we're getting force-fed all the propaganda that we are right now, because there's so many other things that we're not allowed to talk about, which I noticed with last night's show, you know. It's like, wait a minute. I remember getting set in the timeout chair a couple of months ago for mentioning these kind of things. It's just, you're right. They're playing with us. It's a bummer.
It sure seems like it, doesn't it? like they're toying with us. They're playing with our emotions and our dreams. It's not good, man. This is not good. This is not good. And again, I want to believe. I want to believe, man. I really want to believe. But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, mathematically speaking, we have to believe. There's no way when you go out there in the woods or the mountains or something like that, and you look up at the stars and you see how many they really are. I don't know what you see out there in the desert. I imagine it's probably pretty awesome. But when you go up there and you look at the stars, there's no possible way ever that with all those infinite possibilities that there ain't some other dude looking back this way. There's just no way.
For sure.
I mean, even if it's a 1 in 8 quadrillion, billion, zillion, blah, 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 blah chance. Well, there's at least one out there. You know, I think the math works out to 7, but
or something like that. Exactly.
I remember reading something back that when we were kids, you know, in the back of a magazine, you know, estimated amount of stars and galaxies and blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. There's got to be at least 7, you know, other forms that are along our own lines. But if you eat your Oreos and drink them in milk, you're getting your vitamin D and your Hydrox. So you're getting well, now you add a little bit of zinc, maybe a Guinness in there, you're golden.
Wait, is Hydrox a vitamin? I thought Hydrox was another cookie.
Hydrox cookies, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, well, think about it. Like, so I guess we were in the prediction business last night too, but so what do you predict is going to be next to jump on the marketing bandwagon, right? So we got Oreos first. Who's next to sell us some nothing burgers with UFO stamp?
It's got to be a cereal. It's got to be a cereal.
A cereal works for me. Yeah. Right?
Something like Boo Berry or Count Cocoa or whatever it was back in the day. We'll have, the green alien lime ones or something.
Yeah, I think for sure we're going to get Coca-Cola, right? Pepsi's going to jump on the bandwagon. All these guys, right? Everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon and be all over this because, of course, it's going to captivate the attention of our summertime, right? And oddly enough, right, like lots of things going on in the world that people should be thinking about without them being nothing burgers. So I don't know.
But if you have this little packet of Oreo cookies in your backpack, when the aliens show up, you could share them to them and know you're a good guy.
Well,
I don't know.
Exactly. Well, it's the offering to the aliens, right? We're bringing them here. Actually, I'll play that commercial too because it's maybe a little insulting, let's say, but I'll play the commercial, right? For people that are, part of this community and listen to, keep their ear to the ground with UFOs. Clearly, that's you if you're here. We talk about this stuff all the time, but the actual commercial itself is a little bit insulting, right? I'll play it. We're in the third hour, so we can do some extra stuff here that we couldn't really do on the radio, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we're going to have a cereal and some Coca-Cola and some nothing burgers, and it's going to be a great summer, isn't it? Everything's going to be just fine. Just fine.
Well, yeah, get outside, have some barbecue, We're allowed to hang out with our friends without our masks on now. I mean, at least we should be thankful for that.
Yeah, like Derek was saying, I think he's right. There was like that big ritual, like I saw I was linked a commercial last night, that the gum commercial. Did you guys see that one where everybody's like coming out of their their caves, their people caves with their hair all jacked up, and it's like they haven't seen the sunlight in a year, and they're all coming out and they're eating this the gum. It's like extra gum or something, and the commercial is like everybody's just so excited and happy to be human again that it's got Celine Dion singing. It's all coming back to me now, right? I had to do that, or else I'd forget the title. But yeah, so. I don't know, like this type of stuff is just weird, man. It's weird. All of this is weird.
Well, I mean, it's a game. I mean, they're playing a game with us. I mean, I really think, part of me thinks, we go back and we look at it a couple of 2 or 3. Well, it might have been the one show that we got to listen to, semi-biblical. That you're looking at 2,000-year stretches, and the Mayans and everybody. There's like these little mathematical equations that even with the Jews and their numbers and everything else like that in their books, and it's just we know what's going to happen. But there's these other, we're not the priest or the politician or the mayor or the whatever that is privy to these kind of things, and it's a bunch of guys that have no idea what's going on, trying to figure out how to tell us about, life-changing things.
People have no idea what's going on, trying to make up something to tell us about what's really going on.
Well, I mean, the email, the yesterday's show kind of threw me for a loop because I was listening to it and the YouTube was buffering on me a little bit there. I was falling behind and catching back up. And I was like, wait a minute. He's trying to get himself taken down today.
No,
because I didn't hear about it first because I was out doing my thing during the day and stuff, so I had no idea that all that information had come out. And you're ranting and raving about it, and Beechwood's calling up, Joe from Florida's calling up, and everybody else is calling up and being like going right on it. It's like, holy crap, Mike's had enough. He's done. Threw in the towel.
it's just allowed again. Again, right? The propaganda swings, and it's all good. Suddenly, we got a new administration. It's in vogue to blame China. It used to be racist to blame China, but now it's just the lab leak hypothesis, right? It's just unbelievable how they swing these things back and forth, and we're supposed to just forget, like it's justified politically. Like that. What do they say? The ends justify the means, right? And so the means.
Dr. Devious put the email in there today in the chat that had the formula with the centrifuge and the heat and the incubation period and everything. Really?
Yeah.
You knew that back a year and 2 months ago or whatever? Well, come on, man. That's got to be the censor thing. If you ever get your little censor button when someone drops the F-bomb or something like that, the little sound that it makes should be, come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. Like I said, this is it's weird times we live in. And, again, I want to believe, too. I want to be that guy that somehow trust the government. You know what I'm saying? It's like the most frustrating thing ever. It's like, look, it's our tax money. You literally govern with our consent. Quit fucking lying to us, right? Just tell it. Like, if you don't know, say you don't know. At least give us the hint, the wink, wink. Well, we kind of don't know, wink, wink. There's so many ways to do this, and it seems like the ways that are happening are just frustrating, killing me.
It's probably because of, like you said, with the Oreos. It's about the money, New York Times is come on, man. We've covered we're off the air, right? Ass.
Yep.
For a while, on making up stories and hiding things or printing what you wanted us to print and stuff like that. Well, when this comes out, we want the story. Well, by the way, Oreo gives us a lot of money. We're going to give them a heads up so they can be number one on the marketing thing. McDonald's with the little toys, all that, talking tons and tons of money. We're playing around with Dogecoin at, 40 cents a pair, These guys are talking billions and billions, maybe even trillions of dollars. That you got to let us in on it, dude. We've been backing you up forever.
Exactly. $1 trillion budgets. They aren't made out of thin air. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. So we got a couple calls, man. Do you want to hang out and wait there on the on air, or what do you want to do? You tell me what you want to do, Mike.
I'll bounce off to save battery.
Okay.
Because I'll go back and get you on the YouTube.
Okay. Perfect. Then don't go anywhere because we're going to finish with you. Remember, we're doing the outro with Jay.
I'll come back.
Okay. Appreciate that, man.
Right. Thanks, Mike.
Yep. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you soon. All right. So there you go. As simple as that, right? It's you want to be on the show, 702-957-1037. There's the phone number. You can give us a call. And Kelly, hang tight just a sec. I'm going to go to Beechwood real quick because he's on the telephone here, and then we'll get to you just after that. What's up, Beechwood? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. How are you, my friend?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing good. It was a good show. I like that first caller made some real good points. Got a good train of thought. Sometimes you got to try to put yourself in the government's shoes. Doesn't mean you have to act upon those thoughts, but try to think the way that they do. But I think it's going to be the term nothing burger with the disclosure. But I did travel to the future. I think when they do stuff like this and they keep giving you nothing. Well, first of all, I think it's the same group that runs everything, whether what you believe. But if I can get you sick of aliens and there's no answer, in this day I could repackage religion and sell it to you. And I think there's going to be like a hip new retranslated religious movement. Kind of like when you read old Shakespeare and it's in old English and you get the translated versions now, they're in modern day. But, with the Oreos things, I just thought it was weird. When I was a kid, I always thought the Nabisco logo looked like a satellite dish. And it's like a little oval, and it has like a cross and an X on it. And now if you look up Nabisco, all these companies track back to like the same people, man. They were owned by Kraft till I think 2010 or 12 or something. And some other big food company bought them. But if you look up who founded that company, one of the Crafts is there. It's a bunch of big names in history that are all connected to that inner elite circle. And with marketing, I know somebody that worked for a marketing company, and they start coming up with stuff, like commercials and stuff. They start coming up with them a year before they're released. I hear Super Bowl commercials. They start making the new ones the day after the Super Bowl for next year. So, they're prepared. I don't know the word I would use to put what position they're in, but they're, a few steps ahead of the game. But by communicating with people and doing your own research, that's a step in the right direction for this. And I've been reading a lot of books about history lately, and just flipping through the bookstore, and I bought one called Temples of the World, and I know some of them. I'm flipping through it, but the world is incredibly big and incredibly small at the same time, and there is so much history, and it's hard to say what's been lost in translation. And the other day I worked for a guy. He was 98. He still got his marbles, and he was telling me all sorts of stories. And I love talking to people that are that old that still got it, because it makes you visualize better what it was like. And then you can go and you can get history books, and they relate fairly accurate. And now with social media and the way we record history, there's so much false information. In 50 years from now, they're not going to know what the hell happened in 2020. There could be so much information that to sort through it would be impossible. And you could get to the point where you could do a great reset. You could just wipe everything clean, and people might be so frustrated that they would just buy into a simple, that's it, that's where you come from. And I mean, they're set up, they got options. They're playing to win. It's about power. But that's it. That's all.
Yeah, with the actual Ministry of Truth, right? Like I always call Wikipedia. Imagine people aren't going to get information from books 50 years from now. And so you're right. There's literally the ability to completely rewrite history, and nobody will know the difference. They'll know that it was, it went down exactly how they told us it went down, and that's it. It's a wrap. And so very Orwellian, very perfectly set up to screw the future, to take it away from us. It's a shame. It's a damn shame that again, right? Nobody even sees it in these terms anymore. It's like everybody wants to justify it politically, and it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. But okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Are you going to get these Oreos? By the way, you going to buy some of these Oreos?
Oh, absolutely. I don't do the high drop.
Okay.
But the general public. This is my final thought. The general public. The people who listen to the show are good. They're open-minded. The general public just looks for the government's approval. You could go outside and look at the sky and see it's blue. The government will tell you, no, it's not really blue. And, oh, okay, well, you don't need the approval to see something. That's you just don't need it. You're free. You can do your own research. But, yeah, good show. I like where it's going. It's hard to say what's going to happen in the future. It's difficult how trendy it's going to be, but we'll see.
We'll keep paying attention, that's for sure. We'll keep paying attention. Beechwood, you're the best, my friend. Thank you for calling. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, take it easy, man.
Thanks, bro. Have a good night. There you go. Simple as that. You guys want to be on the show? Give us a call. 702-957-1037. 702-957-1037. Kelly, what's up, buddy? Or you can join the Discord, of course, just like Kelly. Kelly's out there hanging out, waiting for his turn, and we also have time for you. So phone number's up, and let's see, reading your chat also. You guys noticed the new chat? We can put the chat on the stream. That's just YouTube right now. I think we might be able to build in Facebook as well, but, well, let's see how long we're on Facebook. just saying. Just throwing it out there. But okay, so anyway, Kelly, whenever you're ready, buddy, and I'm going to keep talking about this stuff. Now, the weird thing is this, is not just this. Actually, let's play this. Let's play this commercial. I said we play this commercial. Let's do it. I think this is probably the best way to do it. Let's do this. Let's take the comment down. All right. Now, this is the actual commercial they did for Oreos. All right. Here you go. Check this out.
Hey, man, look. It's glitching. Probably just some kids. They found it.
Interesting that yesterday we were talking about artificial scarcity. Artificial scarcity. And now we have Oreos telling us limited time only. Get your Oreo offering for the aliens. Limited time only. Limited quantities available, guys. You guys have to go to Oreo.com, right? Marketing, baby. Marketing. That's what this is all about. So not only that, all right. Did you see what happened? So we had a couple guys sitting there. They're in the truck. They got the Oreo jackets on. They clearly work for the Oreo company. Which is what? Nabisco? I don't even know. They like Beechwood said, they all kind of commingle, these big corporations. They're all under these conglomerate umbrellas of assholes, let's say. And just that's my opinion. Of course, that's not, it couldn't be factual. But in any case, they're sitting there with their Oreo jackets on, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, it looks like, and they have this something happening that starts shaking. It's glitching. They're looking at like an iPad or something, and he's like, "It's glitching. Nah, that's some kids or something." But then the UFO comes in, right? That thing starts shaking, and they're looking around and like, "What the hell is this?" And then they get out of the truck and they go check on their offering. Okay, their offering, which they're offering to the aliens, was Oreos. And where did they put it? That's right, in the middle of a cornfield, right, with their own little Oreo crop circle. Yep, that's right. And then, to boot, they actually, let's see, did I? No, make sure I didn't mute Kelly. Then the camera pans out, and there's a larger crop circle around their little Oreo offering crop circle. Anyway, you get the point, right? I think, like I said, is it a little bit insulting, or am I just too sensitive at this point? I don't know. Richard says, "What's up? Oreos, tasteless biscuits that full of fuck all, unless your cat is called Oreo." I like that one. That's a good one. Let's put that up. Jack says, "Boy, they really think highly of themselves." Yeah, exactly. Tinfoil Hat says, "Are crop circles going to come back now?" I think that's a good question. Maybe. Maybe they're going to come back now. I don't know. I just don't know. And like I said, get ready for the Nothing Burger summer. Yeah, maybe. I got you, Robert. I got you the end of the Mayan calendar. It could be, man. It could be. Maybe that's where we're headed, right? Andy says, people need to record our elders so we can pass it down to the future children. Amen, sir. Amen to that. What's up, Tam Bam? How you doing? What's up, Penny Bunny and the Penny crew? I see you guys had a late stream, and thanks for showing up tonight and being part of this. I know the folks in the United Kingdom are passing out because it's late, but what can you do? What can you do? Late is late. And Tam Bam says, "Oreos are out of this world. Delicious, though." There it is. You should have been part of their marketing team. I mean, right? Don't forget to dip them in the milk, right? And, twist them, twist. How do you eat them, actually? Do you twist yours, or do you just like go straight for it? You know what I'm saying? You get the point, right? The marketing these guys. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on here, but this is disclosure, guys. This, think about it. This is disclosure. The New York Times saying basically, well, it doesn't exist except, let's go back to that, actually. I know we have people coming and going the entire time. Let's just go back to that real fast. Here we go. New York Times leaked this today. Government finds no evidence that aerial sightings were alien spacecraft. All right. Straight from the New York Times, right? Straight from the horse's mouth. The New York Times. The paper of record, they're called. All right. And so the strange objects witnessed by Navy pilots remain unexplained, but officials briefed on a new study say they are not secret technology from a classified American program. So the implication is this. They are not American technology. They've ruled out alien spacecraft. So what does that leave? What exactly does that leave? Russia or China, right? Or the Alex Jones breakaway civilization, right? Something like this. They say they're not ours, but then they're doing these other things. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. Matt says next is going to be alien milk for alien milk. Tinfoil Hat says dip them in green milk, and that's kind of it. What's up, Richard? The Bunny Club in the house. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Thanks, Penny, for doing a late stream and bringing everybody over. Appreciate you guys being part of this and enthusiastic and liking these conversations. All right. So again, right? Propaganda. Anybody going to buy their Oreo cookies? Their UFO Oreo cookies, right? So what's next? Is it milk? You guys remember in that Star Wars, the crappiest one they ever made? I think it was The Last Jedi. They had Luke Skywalker on the planet there, and he was drinking green milk out of like a alien breast or something. You guys remember that? Friend of mine out there who might be listening tonight, shout out, buddy, up there in Carson City. I know you guys might be listening. Pointed out that it was a metaphor for Luke Skywalker is drinking the green milk out of the alien on the abandoned island there is a metaphor for Disney milking every bit of green juice out of the Star Wars universe. The green juice, the money. Give us the money. Send us the money. Yeah, I don't know. Still taking your phone calls. What do you guys think about this this entire bit? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Join the Discord, troubledminds.org. Get your ass in here. Let's talk about this stuff. I have no idea. I do know I'm frustrated as hell because they can't tell us anything. They tell us one thing and then they take it away, right? That's what they do. And here we are trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, what's up? Shout out. We got Kelly in the on air on the Discord there, but Kelly, if you're out there, buddy, you're up. You're up, my friend. Anybody else? 702-957-1037. Tam says, I'm always on a diet, so I only get to smell Oreos. Sad face. Well, now you get to buy them and offer them to the aliens, and maybe that'll instead of sparking an interstellar war, it will bring peace to humankind. Tam says, if aliens lactate, wouldn't that be green milk? Yeah, I think so. That was Luke Skywalker drinking the green milk. Yeah, in that crappiest Star Wars movie ever. Let's see. Jack says, I work at a grocery store and they have 20 different kinds of Oreos. They're fattening us up before they eat us, yo. There it is. There it is. There you go. I think that one has to go up on the stream. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about. I have no idea, guys. At some point, you start to become numb to this stuff, right? Like literally it swings left, it swings right, it's back and forth the other way. And then we have no new information, those same three crappy videos. And here we are now with the leak. Wouldn't you call this a leak of the century, I guess? Is that we're going to get a big nothing burger. Shocked, right? Color me shocked. What's up, Kelly? Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. How are you tonight?
Not bad. I'm getting ready for bed as well.
Right on. What do you think about all this crazy stuff? Are you lining up to buy your alien Oreo cookies?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That's not even actually, So, but I don't know, this whole take on the old government thing is kind of funny that New York Times wants to come out with something like that. That journalist needs to either be cracked upside the back of the head or, taken to school on what the government's been into.
Yeah. Something is suspicious, isn't it? Something isn't right here.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, if I'll take a couple minutes of your time to go ahead and just for the government and the listeners out there, just to give them a little brief run through on what the government's been doing. So I'm going to start from the beginning where they talk about anti-gravity, right? So Nikola Tesla was talking about anti-gravity, right? Back in the day. He actually happened to have a patent. Patent number is 1655.144, and it's called the space drive, is what he called it, right? It's an anti-electromagnetic propulsion system. It's a dynamic theory on anti-gravity matter, right? It actually even rejects the notion of curved space-time. That's why he always butted heads with the other physicists, because they were saying that all they were was theories, and he would create shit that would, to prove them all wrong. But besides that, you had after that, you have the gravity. You would have what after World War II. Everybody knows about Operation Paperclip. At German scientists, and they found these blueprints on what they call the Hindenburg or the Vril craft. Right, and after that, you have some, here in the U.S., you have the Gravity Research Foundation in 1946. You have, then there was a scientist. His name was Bryce Detwood. Right, he was an anti-gravity research essay in 1953. It's actually pretty incredible if you was to read it. Just go ahead and there, people, if you were interested in it, it's by Bryce Detwood, right? It's a Gravity Research Foundation essay. But most of the stuff that he's talking about is, it's the phenomenon of gravity, right? The understanding of gravity. So they're saying if you want anti-gravity, you got to know what, your nemesis is, which is gravity, right? So the thing about what that is that that's where I find like scientists now, that if you got anti-gravity, you know what gravity is, right? That you have to know. And then everybody says, you ask the scientists, like some of these physicists or anybody, they say they don't know what it is. But they can make machines, anti-propulsion machines that are anti-gravity. But anyway, let's go back. I want to go back to that. Some more studies with there's a man named Enzel Talbot, right? He was working with the Air Force. He got together with some brilliant minds, and I'm going to go ahead and read the names, and people that are into aviation will actually know what these names are, like William P. Lear, like Learjets, Lawrence D. Bell, like the Bell aircraft, Dr. Igor Sikorsky, which is the Sikorsky aircraft. And what even bringing this up too is, well, within that thing, you have billionaires and millionaires back then, right? And there was a guy, Clarence Birdseye. He's actually, Bird's Eye View with the food companies and stuff. So these millionaires, and it's kind of weird that what's his name before me? He was talking about Nabisco, right? So what it kind of looked like, and now that he brought that up, it almost actually kind of looks like a satellite. That what he's talking about.
It totally looks like a satellite. I had to pull it up to look, but it totally looks like a satellite. You're right.
Yeah. So these people, these billionaires have been into these programs. Like that's where you had they meet in the forest and shit. And they had the breakaway societies, right? But other than that, you also have in the 60s. Let's see. Before that, in the 46, and I don't know if anybody's known about this. It's called the Sleer generator. It was in 1946. The claim is saying that the combination of anti-gravity and free energy device. It was widely planned and still in development. Then you have the Dean drive, which is in the 50s and the 60s, right? This is reactionless drive. It's claimed to produce propulsion without propellant exhaust, linear isolation mechanism, and effects due to friction that would work for free space. Then you after that, in the 468, you had the Wallace machine, right? That's a spinning brass disc together that were, there was kinetic field for mechanisms. It's unsustainable, but then you had the lithrite gyroscopes in 74, and then in the 60s you had this physicist, Joshua Goldberg. He worked at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and he took over some of that stuff for the anti-gravity propulsion systems, right? And some of these people, they work at like this guy in '72. His name was Roger. In the Navy, I learned a lot about this guy. Who was Franklin Meade, right? He was a senior aerospace engineer for the Air Force and worked at Edwards Air Force Base. And then in '96, NASA, they funded this endeavor that was known as the Breakthrough Propulsion Physics Program, which is, the abbreviation for that one's the BPP, right? And in the '70s, this, I've also talked about this, is, it was anti-gravity, and it was from John Hutchinson. They call it the Hutchinson effect. And what's interesting about that whole thing, there was the physicist that was all about, demolition, and she's got a movie or a video on YouTube, and it was called The Day the Towers Fell. And she believed that the Hutchinson effect was the one thing that took that down. Due to the fact that it's not only anti-gravity, that came later on, but what he was messing with was like, it was more like an energy weapon. And I believe also too that the government's actually, that's what helped take down those towers, because it's the only thing that could, turn glass, that whole building of, the Twin Towers come down, and there was all that tonnage of glass, metal. I mean, she's got videos of these things just turning into dust, and that's what people were breathing, and that's what some of the stuff that it was glass dust. Anyway, there's another people that was in 2000. Was it in 96, early 2000s? It was Ning Li and Doug Tor. They had anti-gravity, and that was producing in the 1990s. And then in 2016, it was Project Green Glow. People want to go ahead and check that out. It's actually another anti-gravity propulsion systems. And then now in 2020 in the news, there was it's called inverse.com. They said they stumbled across anti-gravity, just do an experiment in buoyancy experiment with water. You could also see that with like sound waves. You've seen tests done on that, smaller objects, but still, some people say they hear UFOs and they make this weird humming noise. So, I mean, this propulsion systems have been around for a while, these testings and I, that's my rebuttal to this guy who wrote this, wrote that nonsense in the New York Times.
Right. Okay. So not only that, so that was a fantastic list. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to add one on top of that. If you remember, in 2017, December of that year, that's when To the Stars Academy came out with Tom DeLonge and that whole bit. He went on the Joe Rogan podcast and he said they had anti-gravity tech with Art's parts. You remember that? The magnesium bismuth, that whole thing with Linda Moulton Howe, that supposedly had a trail that went back to the Roswell crash. All right. And they said that they were able to blast this thing with terahertz and it would lose mass. Remember this? This was recently. Yeah. This was within the last couple of years. so it's like, wait, what? So all of these things, right? That's again, fantastic list. I'll throw that on top of it all. But what exactly? So what in the world? So are they telling us now? So they're basically saying in that New York Times article that, well, they're not aliens. We can pretty much rule that out, but it's also not us. Doesn't that sound like the biggest lie you've ever heard? What does that leave? Russia, China, and Iran or North Korea? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
What kind of makes sense is what Night Stalker was talking about earlier. And I'm gonna bring this out because the military's done this type of stuff. Okay, so and the reason why I'm saying this is because, I'll give examples like the P-2 spy plane, right? We when we had supposed to be the big bad Cold War with Russia was the big bad guy back then. Now it's Russia and China, right? But the thing about it is they're telling us that we needed this technology, but we had to keep it secret because they just have to, right? They'll give a bunch of excuses, but I could see that during those times. But if you look at it, it's almost that they create a problem so they can create a solution for that problem, and saying that, you know what, they've got these things are Russia or Chinese. So now that we got to combat these, check this out. We have, you know, this free energy. That's the only reason why I believe they're not coming out with it. You know what I mean? Is that it'd be smart, kind of like what Robert was saying in the comments, to say that, hey, you know, the military or the government saying, yeah, these things are ours, you know, kind of keep Russia and China, you know, double thinking. But at the same time, they really can't come out with that shit, because if they do, this anti-gravity propulsion systems are actually all free energy. We won't need all these power lines and the coal burning shit, the nuclear power, all that shit's it's all old tech anyway. We should have been using thorium instead of radiation in the first place, but that's a different story. But yeah, so if you take that into, you could take that into, I guess into a theory, you would say, but you could say that'd be one reason why they would want to come out and say, hey, yeah, we got to combat this shit, so we got to create our own UFOs, and here we are. Boom, this is you. Yeah, now we got United States tech. This is us.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you said, they're going to unveil the UFO with the stars and stripes on it, right? For the 4th of July. That's too good. It's too good, right? I mean, it almost seems like maybe that's what's going on right now. Holy smokes, man.
You know, that's what I would do, you know, because they've been doing that, you know. That's how they come out with all the tech, you know, the P2, and then they came out with the Blackbird, you know. Look at all this new stuff that we just kind of come out, because even then too, like in the early 60s, right? That's when after with like Tenzel the Talbert, like you're saying, like what you're talking about just now, that their study was, you know, when they shot something with with some energy, right? It started losing mass. That's what their stuff was, and then it became anti-gravity with that. But you know, Skunk Works came in with that after that. You know, when Skunk Works happened, you know, you even listen to what, you know, I can't remember his name. He was the leader of Skunk Works back in the 60s, right? Even he said that we had technology. There's a quote from him saying that we had a technology to take ET home. You know, whatever you
is that John Lear? John Lear said that, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He said and that's him, even Lear too. He was part of that. He was saying that, you know, we not only could take ET home, but whatever you can dream of, we could already do. So that, you know, they give you the information, but you kind of have to read into it and do some research, like the stuff that I just kind of mentioned, you know, that you will find that the United States have been doing anti-gravity. Even when I think they ran with what Tesla's space drive and from 1928, you know, and like the Germans, they found something. I believe that's my theory, is that I believe that they found, when they were sent the SS around the world to dig up stuff in Peru, in these ancient areas, you know, like Egypt and you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these places. They found something, I believe. That's what I believe, that they found something because they were into those ancient writings. And then, you know, how do they become a superpower in World War II, right? They had jet engines, they had missiles, you know, they started working on anti-gravity, the Bell, the Glock, all that shit. They're just finding out, like, they were mind blown when they found this shit.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I don't know, and then we didn't even talk about Bob Lazar, right? Like, we didn't even bring him up in that list that you had, and the Tom DeLonge stuff. I mean, either this is, I don't know. It seems like too much. It just seems like it seems to me that maybe it is going to be. It's going to be the UFO with the stars and stripes, right? It's going to be that we have this technology that we've been working on since who knows how long ago, that turns out to be, hopefully, like Night Stalker was saying, hopefully it's some sort of energy conversion process where, you know, maybe we are switching over to that post-scarcity world type of thing, you know? Like, I mean, we can only hope, right? But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like you know, and I know is sure as shit they're gonna weaponize everything first. And so that's part of the problem here. That's what we're doing, and that's why we're talking about this. It's nuts. This stuff is nuts, right? Like if we have actual, like, unlimited energy in some capacity like this, and it's not worldwide at this point, they're using it for power and control. Is that what it would be? Of course, I think that's what it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you too. I mean, I'm hopeful, just like what Nice Doctor was saying, that that it could be that too. Though it's an energy conversion, because it all this oil, and all this now they're saying with gas, and always the crisis, and the pollution that comes with the shit, because like all these things leak. They're not gonna stay stable. The ground moves constantly. There's gonna be these things do not, or they shouldn't be used anyway. These fossil fuels are, I mean, that's the old one of some of the oldest tech already. It's ridiculous that we're still even using it in my eyes. Yeah, I mean, and I feel sorry for these people, yes, that work in these, the gas and oil, fields and whatever in that division, but not everything stays around, my brother. It's got to, the future's got to move forward, and it's going to move forward without you, and maybe it's, that'll, some of the stuff like that, like the so-called, hopefully not everybody will be poor, but if there's always like, they show like in the future in some of these, bullshit ass movies where, everybody's, the demolition of the planet, and then you got somebody, whatever. But like, if that's the last thing you can use is fossil fuels, then so be it. But like, I'm hopeful that this is a step in, the green direction where we need to go, because that's where the future is. It's not, still trying to burn up, because all these oil fields, no matter how big they say they are, in trying to, secrete all this shit out of the planet, that shit's going to run out sometime or another. It doesn't, fossil fuels, the rate that this planet is using, with everybody using gas, everything's gas or some kind of fuel like that. The alternative is just get rid of it. I mean, just stop using it. Period.
Well, which of course we can't, because right, we're locked into that. Like Ash always says, the petrodollar, like Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's so much here that these power bases are not going to let go. It would take a war to make them let go, and I think that's part of our problem, is that we have so many factions that are protecting their own interest with oil, with all the rest of these things, that it's going to have to break down society entirely to really flip us over to that, which I hope I'm wrong. Again, when I make these statements, I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems like that if it was an easy transition, it would have transitioned, but it hasn't. It just hasn't.
But in the past, it could have. I mean, if we would have went with Tesla's tech, we would already be Wi-Fi. Everything would have been powered through. And this is the thing: you don't even need like solar energy or anything like that. He was drawing power from the ionosphere. Right, that's pure energy itself. It's like constant static electricity. You could power anything. He was just like he was saying, like kind of like Wi-Fi, what he was talking about. But he said you would just need a box on the side of your house, and then you would have like the Tesla tower, and those things would be drawn out of the, wherever you needed the power. Right, you just built a Tesla tower, and it had to be grounded into the ground. So I think it was like 20 feet. Like a rod, and then you would just draw the dome on top, would just draw the power out of the ionosphere, and then send it, via Wi-Fi, and then everything was powered that way. I mean, like I said, this was in 20s, and he was talking about a space drive. That's anti-gravity. We could be like already like the Jetsons, man. But no, here we are stuck doing the same old shit. We are still using, nuclear waste is my biggest issue. I mean, not even gas and fuel, but nuclear waste. Because what are we doing with all the waste? You're just burying the shit. That shit's supposed to be around for billions or millions of years. I mean, what are we doing? That's the whole point.
Yeah, there's a lot of points here. What the hell are we doing? And all the while, what China has created, the artificial sun or whatever the hell's going on over there. I mean, I think maybe. So do you believe in this theory? Right, the fact that. I don't know if it's a fact, but let's say that the theory that the reason there are not aliens zipping around like crazy and making contact and all like Star Trek is because once a civilization gets far enough technologically, they accidentally destroy themselves. Meaning that something like CERN or something like this sun that China might be creating, the artificial sun. Like, who knows? Once you try and create this free energy, is that you're much more liable to create a runaway mistake that's detrimental to the society, to the people, to the planet. Interesting thought, right?
That is, because that already happened with nuclear weapons. The atom bomb. Because I'll tell you this. I've researched some like that's why I say like thorium and nuclear power. Do you know if you could take energy? It's dangerous as hell to do because you have of course the nuclear reaction. But if you can take nuclear power up to the highest point before detonation, there's a point what they call a point break, right? Because I had to learn this when when I had to get my surface warfare, for the I had to learn about nuclear power, because that's what runs our ships and stuff. But anyway, what I'm pointing again at, there's a certain point, and within nuclear energy, right before detonation, right, the break point, it's where if you can maintain that, if you can get it up to that point and just stop it, right, and maintain that, that's free energy. There's no detonation. It's like a constant energy that will just burn for, I don't know how many, hundreds of years, right? Or if not thousands of years. But the point that they don't want to do that is because it's at the point of detonation. And to get that close would be, it's too dangerous. And I'm pretty sure they were messing with that all, because the United States had more detonations of nuclear weapons than Russia and China, anybody combined. There was a when I went to Japan, I went to the Nagasaki museum, and that I learned a lot of stuff about that too. But United States, yes, we've detonated more nuclear weapons, and I believe that's what they were probably trying to do. Get into that critical mass point where it's that flash point. If you can get it and maintain it, that's the thing. But it's dangerous. That's what I'm saying. It's very hard to even maintain the molecules when when you raise those bars up out of the water. That's what cools them down. But if you can to try to maintain that, because once it's up there, heat rises so fast that it's almost nearly impossible to control that.
Yeah, well, and so not just that, there's like the laws of thermodynamics as we know them, and all kinds of other things too for this the energy propositions, right, of the future. So I don't know, like it's all that's up in the air, unless the possibility exists that they already know this stuff, and these UFOs zipping around are already made of this stuff, this new technology that, who knows? Like think of it this way: if you were the powers that be, and you had this technology, would you ever share it?
Yes, I would show it. Because I don't know why the United States hasn't, if they do have stuff like that in their arsenal, it should have been. We're talking back in the 50s and 60s, they were playing with this shit, right? It's 2020. So if they've had it, I think now, so this is probably the time to pull it out. Maybe it's the time to pull it out and say, show another thing of force, because that's what the military does. That's what this whole country does. Is it's all, everything's based on war. It is, because if you look at it, and look how many military bases we have, not only in the United States but worldwide. There's over 768 bases in 78 different countries. We're not even talking United States alone. And it employs thousands of people, right? Thousands of people. So it's the military industrial complex. But yeah, it is a lot. But the thing about it is, this I believe these propulsion's been around, and and now I think, now that we've been talking about it and we've seen it, and everybody, that the whole news are trying to catch into it, and I think this is the way the military and the government works. They want to, bring it out in a certain way, and I think maybe this is it. This could be it.
Yeah, kind of like Night Stalker was saying, right? Like maybe this is how that new energy comes into being. So they're explaining it maybe through UFOs, even though maybe the UFOs they're showing us may not be what we think they are. There's something else entirely, something we've had for a while now. That again, I forgot who made the point yesterday, but don't you think we'd be shooting them down if they were all over our airspace and all the rest of this? I think there's some merit to that, but I don't know. The whole thing, when you try and consider all of those things all at once, it seems futile. Resistance is futile for you Star Trek fans out there. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're at. I don't know where we're going. I just know that it's frustrating as hell that we don't get any answers at all. That's the worst part. A couple of great comments here in the chat from Facebook. Marty, what's up, says the next technology that will be distributed will probably be AI. Tamarin says maybe we need a global EMP, and when shit gets too much, we push the button and let the Earth recover a bit. That would be horrific. That's hell in a handbasket. That's the rapture right there. That's the restart button.
Come on, Mike. You're as old as I. You could probably survive without the internet. We had internet before all that shit.
I'm not worried about me, bro. I'm not worried about me and you. Let's say that. We're going to be okay. But I'm just saying that, like, there's a lot of people that will not be. There's a lot of people that will not be. Yeah.
That is very.
Yeah. Horrific. We're coming down to the end of this. So final thoughts on this, man. What the hell do you think is up with this propaganda? If you got to make one or two guesses at the end, what the fuck are we dealing with, man? Like it could literally, think about it. The range of things is all over the place. Extraterrestrials, right? Or some sort of like dimensional entity, or it could be some sort of like phenomenon that's lived here for a billion years, and we're just now kind of getting a handle of maybe quantifying what it might be, or it's a breakaway civilization, or like there's 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 angles here. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it could be either one of those, but you got to take into effect that these things been seen around the world for, it's been talked about, thousands of years, different, like, the Vimanas in India, like in the Bible, you hear, Ezekiel's wheel and whatnot, but, carvings of helicopters in Egypt and, some people call it tank and submarine and whatnot. I'd say they're all UFO type stuff, but I don't know, man. I just think to put my thumb on it, and some of the stuff that I research and, looking at, I don't really pay attention to social media, but like some of the stuff that, you can't stop not see it. You know what I mean? So maybe it is it's a time. It's either, for me, it could be either a couple things, not so many as the other ones. I don't never say no to anything, but for me, I would say it's either they're going to let us know that, there is an alien civilization that's been with us and it's been around us, trying to keep us, just like the Barack Obama saying that we could, they hopefully that people could, take that as, would actually, I guess, live with these things, different, if they're these other species, especially if they're, say they walk around us, they must be human type looking or humanoid type looking. So I don't know. For me, I would have a problem with it. Like I said, I ran across what I believe is a reptilian type being. I've talked about this on the podcast a couple times, but yeah, I mean, if it's that, I'm ready for it. I've been ready for it. I mean, it's just something that it was been with me that, since I was a kid too. I'm just not scared of anything. Yeah, in that aspect, but. Or is it, they took that technology and obviously that's, I'm not saying that human mind could not say that, building anti-gravity like Nikola Tesla, right? But I'm saying that where some of this has got to come from somewhere, it's where do they come up with the technology? Yes, Tesla had the idea, but he didn't have the know-how or the equipment to do it back then, I would say in the 20s. But if you look at it now, I mean, it could be ours. Obviously, some of that, I would say some of that shit's ours. If they're not shooting it down, like I said, we talked about if they're on the shores on the East Coast and West Coast on the shoreline, they're flying these things around and trying to get the characteristics on it. And if they do crash, guess what? It's going to crash in the ocean. It's easier to pick that shit up out of the bottom of the ocean instead of over land. Then you have problems with, people saying, oh, I seen the UFO. There was a crash. Everybody with video cameras and all that. Yes, I would test these things over the ocean, and if they do have a mechanical failure, you will have, the ability to pull that stuff out of the ocean because there ain't nothing going to be around there, right? Unless some ships, but you're the military. You can keep all that shit away from you. So, yeah, that'd be one thing, too. Or it's just, I don't know. Like that guy that called up on that old radio show back in the day, he was saying that they're multi-dimensional beings from a precursor, of the moon landing. So who knows? I mean,
I'm with you, bro. I don't know, but I'm with you. Life's too short to be scared, man. If this is a War of the Worlds, man, let's lock and load, brother. let's do this, and again, don't get me wrong. I never advocate for violence. I'm saying if this is an alien invasion is what I'm saying, right? I'm sure you'd want me on your side, but that's the thing here is that there's so many angles to look at this from that we're not getting any information. And this propaganda from the government, from the media, is frustrating. It's frustrating. It's the same sort of thing that back in Project Blue Book. It's the same sort of thing. How the government was doing its best to undermine the entire project. And then J. Allen Hynek, of course, who was part of the scientist behind Project Blue Book, the guy actually doing the science experiments and following up and all the other things, he ended up leaving that entire thing believing in UFOs when he was supposed to be the one debunking them. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. The point is that people like us that listen to this radio station has been on here and that's looking for something. We know it's deep down inside there is other civilizations. I mean, that's a give me. I mean, no one can ever. I don't know what kind of scientist or physicist or whatever you want to call yourself. If you're claiming that there is no life out there but us, you probably should just go back to school. First.
No, because they'll tell you that in school. Maybe
the possibility of that is enormous. So, but to have another civilization doing what they're doing, I mean, that is incredible. They're almost, I would say, light years ahead of us. So, we just, as us, maybe they can't. Maybe it's a prime directive. They're not supposed to come down here and help us out. You know what I'm saying? That we're crawling, and they have to let us start walking. And then once we start walking, we start running.
And then then they step in. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I hope so, man. I prefer that to alien invasion, but like I said, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm with you, man. We're gonna do this. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Kelly, you're the best, my man. Let me know if shit hits the fan. You let me know. We'll go underground. We'll get a plan together. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're already planning that, so we'll let you know what the coordinates are at. Right?
Right on. Sounds good to me. Thanks again, Kelly. I appreciate you spending your time with us tonight, as always.
All right, brother. Yeah. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, my man. You too. There you go. Good stuff there. Kelly from Colorado, the very first caller on the show. He's still with us after all these years, talking UFOs and talking all the crazy stuff we talk about here, free energy and you name it. I don't even know where to go with a lot of this. I don't even know. But let's go to Jay. Let's finish this sucker up with Jay. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for being part of this. Thanks, Kelly. Thanks all the calls and all the great chats. Welcome back, Jay. Welcome back to the show, Jay. Let's do the outro with Jay because it's a thing now.
Mike, I'm going to go back to that one that I started off when we started you did the thing with the Masons for me. The witness of time and the light of truth and the life of memory. I mean, I really think that's where we are. We see things. We're out there taking a pee, listening to your show, and see what you think is a satellite, and then it takes a 90-degree turn and gone. They're there.
Something's there.
Disappointing. Something's there. I mean, I've been all over the country and seen crazy things. The people that are getting pictures of Eon's rockets blasting out there with their different kind of gas and stuff like that. Those are brilliant. I mean, they're beautiful, But if you had no idea what was going on, what would you say to yourself about that? You see that? Yeah. What is it? I don't know. You know, now we have social media, and we know that it's the rockets. And do you see the little funny thing that he did with the Starlink? Who's Jeff? Did you see that?
No. What happened?
Elon Musk put his satellites up there in a little row to who's Jeff.
Really? Oh, they spelled it out? They spelled it out?
Yeah, they spelled it out. When they passed by overhead, they were in order. I thought it was funny.
That is pretty cool.
You know,
so you could actually do that.
He's begging for grant money, you know, and I was like, well, we're already here, so you know, you want grant money for it.
Hey man, it's all about grant money. It's always about grant money. If anybody knows a good line on grant money, let me know. Just let me know.
Trust me, I tried it really big in that building that I got my fancy books from and stuff, you know. I don't know how to write grants. I'm not a grant writer.
Gotcha. If anybody out there can help us out, get grants for, I don't know, what do they pay money for doing useless research? I can do useless research, guys. So if anybody has a line out there, let me know. I'd love to do it. We'll live stream useless research. I can't even say it. It's too funny. Okay, all right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's finish it, man. Let's finish it. This is the end of the week. Sometimes some weeks just seem longer than others, man. And I think all the ups and downs of all this UFO stuff, just following it too close sometimes. Maybe we'll do a palate cleanser next week and not talk UFOs at all. We'll see how I feel, but I think it's worth paying attention to. And don't forget to get your damn Oreos, guys, because of course if the aliens come and you don't have the Oreos to offer, maybe your lunch, after all.
Maybe we can talk about growing tomatoes and potatoes and stuff like that. Like, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, you know, buy a bag of potatoes and leave them out on the counter. When they start to get the eyes on them, throw them in the ground. You're going to have 100 pounds of potatoes in the fall.
Exactly right. Let me know. We'll have a potato feast. All right. Do your best, George Washington, sir.
Let's just stay together and keep thinking, doing the best that we can, you know. Not get discouraged. I mean, it's really probably not going to get us, you know. We're going to be nobodies because we're still nobodies. We're made fun of. We're laughed at. You know. Let's do it. Let's just, you know, we'll talk about the things they'll let us talk about, even though we're not supposed to talk about them. And we'll learn something new every day. That'll make us one of the smartest people on the planet.
There you go. I agree. Let's stay positive. Let's not get discouraged. Let's stick together. Let's not hate each other, which of course the mainstream media tries to make us do. That's what this is about. And this is about you. This is about you and us coming together to ask better questions. Thanks again for all the great input tonight. As always, thanks for all of the support for this show. You guys have really been nothing short of amazing. So thank you so much. Thanks, Jay, for being here tonight. Thanks for being a good sport about the outros with Jay and all that good stuff. It's like I said, you start to put a thing together and it just gets better and better and better. And it doesn't happen without all you guys. So thanks again. Thanks to Penny Bunny Crew. Thanks to the United Kingdom for staying up late with us. All the calls, all the chats. We're done for the week with Troubled Minds. Tomorrow we'll have Troubled Minds news at 3 p.m. Pacific and just kind of do our quick hits on the news and get ready for the weekend because we're going to barbecue like we've never barbecued before. Or maybe not. Thanks, Jay. Thanks,
We're going to live life, Mike. We're going to live life. Mike.
Exactly. Amen to that. We're going to live some life. All right, guys. At the end, you know the deal. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with us, Jay. You're the best, my man.
Good night, Mike. it's either they're gonna smell in the face and spin around this, trying to keep this just like the way people could, take. And, would actually, I guess, to live with these things, different, if they're these other species, especially if they're seeing around us, they must be